Well met, fellow gamers! That was weird, holy shit. It's Play It Forward here on the Loading Ready Run Network. God, the mic is so loud. There, duck it a bit. I'm Beej. Welcome to Play It Forward, like I just said, here on the Loading Ready Run Network, on Twitch TV. We just did a show that ended 22 minutes ago. I hope you all had time to make yourself a fancy 6-course meal and, I don't know, brew some alcohol. I made tea, and I messed up. Not the tea. The tea is wonderful. The problem is the vessel that it's in has a handle. I can't touch the handle or even the green inner ring because I put this mug in the microwave to heat it up, and the only thing that got warm, it wasn't the tea, and it wasn't the outside of the mug, it was just anything painted green. That got hot. So, I can't hold the handle, and I can't sit because the top lip has to go onto the inside green part, so I have to wait until it all cools down. It tastes pretty good, so I'm fine. I haven't burned myself yet, so that's cool. It was, it's funny, it's, I feel like I had a hard day, and it had nothing to do with being at work. It's just everything to do with my own brain. And I'm sure everybody that, a whole bunch of you and a whole bunch of us here at the Moonbase have all had days like that too. So it was, I didn't like it. I didn't like how I felt very, that I wasn't plugged into what was going on. I felt foggy, but in a way that was like, I mean, for one thing, my vision was foggy because of my friggin' contact lenses, but like, what set it off was that every bit of me, like, would itch at different times. Like, my hands would itch, or like, around my eyes it would itch, or like my head would itch, or like, and I ended up having an antihistamine to try to combat whatever I could, but I'm like, I'm inside and where the AC is, I hope that this is, you know, taking care of whatever. But the constant itch and not being able to nail it down everywhere was just driving me to distraction, and I just, I started getting just very irritable at everybody and not saying anything. And so in the prep for the show, I finally just hit a point where I'm like, I think I need to not be around anybody. And then Heather was like, why don't you just, like, take that break? And I'm like, I will need to go home and have a shower and, like, get real clean so I know I'm not itching because of that reason. She's like, then go home and take a shower. And so I went home and I had a shower, and I just was like, as soon as I spent like a half hour like trying to fill the bathtub, couldn't find the stopper, and like I had a shower, and I got out of the shower and I felt clean, and then I moisturized and I felt not as itchy, and I was like, I should get some more moisturizer while I'm at it. And then I just like laid down in the bed and I read about Hitler and felt a lot better. There's a book out by a gentleman, I forget their name, written on if you go to kottke.org, which is a very cool website for learning about interesting things. There's a new book out that talks about what it was like to be the American ambassador to Germany during World War II, and so they had posted some highlights, passages they really liked, and I spent a lot of time just kind of like, I just spent some time reading the highlights, and I was like, this is really good, this is kind of fascinating, and just like, that got me, it was completely separate from anything else that I had to do in my life. It was just, I can just sit here and read this, it has nothing to do with me, and nothing to do with like, what's going on at work today or anything else like that. Because we filmed all the pre-record like stuff, like anything you saw that was taking place, we filmed that a week or two ago, and it was just like all that was done and everything was being worked on, and it was like I didn't have to like worry about being a part of those things. So it's just like, it's nice to not, you know, have to think about anything that has to do with any of that stuff. And nothing can be more different than my workday than reading about that. It's like the other side. So I was like, yeah. So anyway. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was kind of like, imagine being the person named ambassador and then going over there and being like, everything seems fine, but people are saying there's a problem, but we're not seeing a problem here. And then slowly you start to realize that there's problems, and it's a hell of a bits of the book that I was reading, because it's, you just have this thing of everyone's so committed to making this thing happen, and I was like, so yeah. If your thing is how dystopian can your society get, well, actually, that's not a bad place to look for. You know, if everyone just wants to be committed to the shitty thing happen. Their thing I was reading about, like one of the stories they mentioned, I know we're kind of off tangent for Play It Forward here, but one of the stories they mentioned was about how a cashier in a store was dealing with a cranky customer, because the customer wanted their 3 pfennigs of change, and so they're like, and the customer was very cranky about wanting it, and so the clerk was like so mad about having to deal with this customer that they called the Gestapo and turned them in for not paying their taxes. It got to the point where the Gestapo had to issue this is like pre-war, right? This is all pre-war, but the Gestapo had to issue an edict to the government, to the citizenry, saying, we urge the citizenry to be more discriminating about how they choose to turn in their fellow citizens. Oh, so yeah. Anyway, oh wait, I guess I should do this. Hey, welcome to this, or let's do this again. Welcome to this week's highlight reel. Man, Corey's got a whole bunch of highlights cooked up. They're gonna be great. Is that what I'm supposed to do in order to? Is that how that shit works? Anyway, don't clip that. Yeah. So that's the start of whatever. So we just got back, Captain Jomo. People want to know about how the loading around Summer Games went. It's way more important to work on finesse for the Kobe. I kept wanting to say the Kobe, but it is, Kobe. So yeah. And Dark Morford, I like your use of the shibboleth. Not only am I watching that, I'm reading it as well. I haven't lifted any dumbbells yet. I'm only actually about 2 episodes into that so far, but I'm caught up on all the manga. I had a great time doing the. I actually had a great time being on the show today, because only a minimum amount of involvement on my part, but I got to write the fly through like I always do. So if you're wondering why Paul's saying all that stuff, it's because I'm making him say it. And I had a great time actually doing the activities. I mean, shit, I even straight up at the end there just was like, oh, everyone's just in a huge heap at the end. I kind of came back and sat down. I was kind of like, wait, why is everybody else sitting around like this? I'm tired, but I mean, why? Oh, okay, yeah, well, okay, you know what? F it. I'm going to style on the rest of you. I'm going to go for another run. So I did another lap just to be like, fuck you guys. I'm not in good shape, but I can keep running. All right, we'll drop a save now that we're about to talk to somebody for real. Oh, Tanard Ambrose looks exhausted. He's staring blankly. A glass of amber whiskey next to him. Engine parts litter the floor of the operating theater. Does anyone need to be caught up on where we are? We just, I believe, finished Gobbet's side mission, so we'll have to have a great conversation there. And so now we're back from that. So, Ambrose, hey Beach, big typhoon on the way in. Better batten down the hatches. A robot arm swings over him to take a weary drag from a cigarette. It's gonna be a kicker. What's the deal with the typhoon? It's your first typhoon, isn't it? Typhoons grow out in the Pacific, then come crashing into the coast. The big ones hit Category 7. Real monsters. Unreal. Ambrose swirls his whiskey disconsolately. This one's just a big wet huffer. Streets are gonna flood. Aircraft will be grounded. This one's awakened, so get ready for a lot of communications interference. And get your galoshes. It's gonna be wet. He gets you a sidelong glance, a sly look in his eyes. Good time for running in storms. All that wind and rain obscures surveillance. Curfew clears the streets. Cops and security contractors are all tied up. We're at sea level here. What will the storm surge do to Haoi? Nothing. The Zirang Wall will seal all of Victoria Harbor behind a big concrete breakwater. Shuts down the harbor and keeps sea level constant. Have you seen the harbor wall activated before? It's a miracle of engineering. It'll stop a 2-meter surge with 7-meter wind waves. Surprised you're not throwing a typhoon party. Nobody's in the mood for it. I'm not either. These dreams are driving everyone crazy. He takes a big slug of his whiskey. A mechanical arm from the wheelchair absently fills the glass back up. Fortunately, I have special training for dealing with dreams. Who are you, Ambrose? Really? Ambrose stops what he's doing. He regards you silently. His living eye glitters with intelligence. I'm Ambrose Rokitansky. I'm the doctor around here. God, Rokitansky isn't that like... That's very close to... what was Mad Max's name? What's his last name again? Someone's going to tell me in the chat. But yeah. Is it Rokitansky? Rokitansky? Anyone else I might have been is dead and gone. That's it. Yeah. So it is Rokitansky. So it's probably exactly supposed to be the same name. It's just there's no C in there. So I really do want to say there's no such person. Let's do that. There's no such person as Ambrose Rokitansky, is there? Maybe I wasn't born with that name. Maybe Icebreaker's just a notorious and secretive Kong runner who vanished with his team. Maybe I never worked for him. Maybe I did. I'll tell you what's real. This clinic is real. What I do here is real. This place is as real as it comes. Karen was real. She was my friend. And the heart in my story. That's real too. As far as the rest, well, some stories are too dangerous to tell. Well, then why did you leave Chicago, really? Maybe it wasn't Chicago I left. There's been a lot of mixing in the UCAS Midwest. It's a big territory that my accent could be from. Where the hell is the... There it is. Turn off the fan blowing at my midsection. Maybe I crossed someone. The Mafia, Ares, the Russians, Stuffer Shack. Ambrose winks with cyber eye. His living eye keeps watching you relentless. Maybe saying that my old hood is inside the Chicago containment zone is just a way to cover my tracks. Go Bears. What really happened to your team? Well, they lost in the Super Bowl that one year and everything, yeah. Things went bad. We got ambushed. Ambrose squints appraisingly at you. His expression is unreadable. Perfect poker face. I must not have been doing a good job of Overwatch. That ambush killed everyone else. Eventually, it even killed Karen. With his 3 fingers, Ambrose points to the place. Tubes emerge from his side. My liver and kidneys are machines in my wheelchair. I've lost about half my body. I'm in chronic pain. And every night, it's the same thing. Nightmares. They never end. If I had any part in the end of the crew, well, I've paid with almost everything. It's still less than other... Ambrose is suddenly overcome with emotion. Seems to catch him by surprise. His poker face cracks a nagonal grimace and tears well up in his eyes. After an instant, he masters himself and his stony face returns. What matters now is making something productive of my life. I mean it when I say I'm just about the luckiest guy in the world. Whoa. Oh. Okay, so you're admitting that your negligence killed your team. I'm not sure about that yet, but it is better than, are you saying you had a part in the ambush? That's, You're right, you're just about the luckiest guy in the world. Seems like I'm closing off conversation. Stow the doublespeak, what happened to your team? Little bit aggressive. That's a hell of a storm count today. There was a lot of you subscribing for Loading Ready Live. And I mean, I understand that. You know, we do it once a month. It doesn't happen that often. and it was a good live. Thank you for your generosity and your collective largesse. That really does help. It's yes. Let's keep moving on. Stow the doublespeak. What happened to your team? All messed up, in hiding, and alone. You don't sound lucky to me. That's just being shitty. So it's either the negligence line that I want to do, or stow the doublespeak, which I hate that idea. Oh, and just so everyone is aware, at some point I'm, I think, coming up reasonably soon, not sure when, I'll probably end up doing an anime, my own little anime roundup thing, probably on Heather's channel on Lunar Jade. Not sure when that's going to be just yet, but I think it's going to be pretty soon. It has to work around her streaming schedule and however I feel like I need to do that. Maybe, maybe, I don't know. I don't know when I'll do it. I was going to say maybe on Sunday when she's streaming here, and I'm like, that's a terrible idea because I have to stream right after her. So, anyway. Yeah, just point blank ask him, I think. What happened to your team? I don't know. I never saw any of them ever again. It's all ancient history now. The Mustang photo, is that your son? Sure. Ambrose gets very still. The robotic arms tinkering around you suddenly stop and seem to stag. The only sound is the rumble and hum of the electro furnaces. When he speaks, his voice is slow. That was me when I was younger. Look at the timestamp. It was taken in 2034. I don't have a son. I don't have anyone back in the UCAS. He slowly shakes his head. I never did. I have nothing to say about that. I hope you can understand that. Because I could have sworn, Ambrose Girls, I've got nothing to say about it. Cool. You know anything about an Archaeopteryx on the BBS? What, like the bird? A little bird who I watched divert attention from a very good rigger doc and deftly fish for information on one of Icebreaker's old associates. What are you implying? That? Wait, that it's me? Ambrose breaks into a smile as sunny, though possibly a bit forced. Hey, I'm flattered, I really am, but I stay away from the BBS. That world's behind me. Although I suppose if I ever found someone with whom I had unfinished business, Ambrose's voice dropped to several octaves for just a moment, I'd be a real angry cuss. Very well, Ambrose, keep your mysteries. I don't know. Thanks, Ambrose. Just had to ask. I know what your game is. Remember that. Never mind then. God, I just feel like he's going to give me an offer of something a little bit later. Here, take this with you on a mission that you're about to go on and do this thing. That kind of stuff. Right? I'm meta gaming this, and I know I shouldn't be, but I also want to enjoy as much of the little tendrils and stuff, so maybe a neutral answer. Just thanks, Ambrose, just had to ask. No problem. Welcome to the Shadows, Beach. She smells lonely at you, but not in an unkindly way. Enjoy your stay. All right, show me your services. Do I need any more medical supplies? Am I out? Ah, the plats have shown up. There we go. That's the good stuff. And I have some money, but I might need that for some other things. I haven't had to use medkits too often, which means it's probably going to get even more ridiculous. All right, well, we'll leave here and leave here. And goodbye, Ambrose. Time for me to go. Cheers, Beach. Talk to you later. Let me just go that way. All right. We'll find our next person we're going to talk to and then drop a save. Probably the Kafai family. Frederick Kafai, the young troll bouncer, is as far from alert as he's likely ever been. Men and women pass through the front door without earning even a glance from Freddy. He just taps away at the screen of a tablet, oblivious to the world. I think someone just carried in a nuke, Freddy. Uh-huh. Nice front, soldier! Freddy looks up. Oh, it's you. Sorry about that. Just making some final arrangements. Oh, Christ. Freddy, why? My father thinks I'm not ready for the big time. He thinks I'm not strong enough or resourceful enough or whatever. But I'm proving him wrong already. So I got it all figured out. The Hell Thunder Crew. God, I love that name. I don't know why. It really reminds me of when we did the Hell's Karate Knife Hand of Woe. God, I love that title we came up with. The Hell Thunder crew has been spotted to the south mostly, out among the islands there. The Star Ferry service operates all through that region, so I just need to head down to Stanley and start hopping ferries until I hear the drums. They play the drums. Did you know that? That's what I've been practicing. I got a plus-size capsule reserved to the Dynasty Mansions in Stanley, and I got enough cash to cover that and the ferry rides for about 2 months. And get this, Stanley is also known as Chue, which means Bandit's Post. Why? Because of pirates! It's a sign, I'm telling you. I also got a lead on someone with the Tolovori down there who may be able to help. He's got connections inside Yamatetsu, and they pretty much run the Marine Department these days. They monitor the ships coming and going, so if pirates hit, they'll know. And once they know, my guy will make sure I know. It's all coming together. I'll show my ba what I'm made of. I'm leaving as soon as I get all my loose ends tied up. I just want to give him a good smack. Like, I want to say this. I'm going to do that. Don't do it for anything. Piracy's in your blood. What are you saying? You hear me talk about my ba back in his glory days? It's got to be in me somewhere. I don't think your father's actually a pirate, just a smuggler. What's the difference? I mean, it's all the same, isn't it? Isn't it? Shit, now you got me all confused. I suppose I don't have to leave immediately. One more day to stew on won't matter much. Just sleep on it, Freddy. Nice. Good for me. Okay. That is what I wanted to do. Oh, the music. Alright, I'm going to drop the save now, because I should have done it before Freddy, and I did not. Henry Kaffai. Henry stands unmoving at the back of the club, staring blankly at a wall. Had the wall been built with a window, the view afforded would lead straight out to sea, but as it is, the old troll stares at nothing. I've come to a decision. But you're wrestling with something. I have. And here it is. I can't do it any longer. I can't keep going on this way. I'm just so tired, and not just because of the dreams disturbing my sleep at night. I was weary of this world long before that. If anything, the dreams simply serve to underscore the truth. I don't belong here. I've known for a long time. I just couldn't admit it to myself. I tried my best for the sake of Vermin and my boys, but I'm more a burden to them than a help. Better for me to be out of their hair. It's just this isn't my world anymore. Likely it never was. But maybe there's still a world out there for me, somewhere on the water, or maybe the only world for me is back in the past. All that I know, it's not here. My number's up, whether it's tomorrow or just years from now, I'll just slip into the water. Less of a burden in death than I was in life, simple and neat. The tide's going out, Simon went with it. Nobody ever found peace by running, Henry. I like that better than won't your family miss you. I feel like what we're really encountering with these people is that all four of them are splintering. Like, it's like, they came back together, raising this family, getting to a point where it's like, all of us are, you know, Freddy doesn't want to be here because he thinks he needs to be more than what he is. Which is fine, it's good to have ambition, but he seems to have the wrong focus. Henry's thing is, I don't think it's a midlife crisis or an old age crisis. It kind of just feels like it's like there's just depression here. And he's just like, I was happier back then, wasn't I? I should just go do that again. And nobody really wants me here, and this kind of convincing yourself of that. Cullum's thing is like, he thinks that he's worth more. And somebody comes along to offer him the thing, and then Ermin's got this, like, thing where it's like, I gotta keep everybody here, but everybody wants to leave, and it's like, it doesn't seem like anyone's talking to each other. They're just yelling at each other, just ignoring each other. So, yeah. Oh, nobody ever found peace by running, Henry. Or should I make him think of his family? Nobody ever found peace by running, Henry. I'm not running away, I'm running too. If there's a better life for me out there, can you really begrudge me for trying to find it? Need help, Henry. Everybody does. You won't find it alone. Help? It's true, I haven't been feeling myself. Ever since those dreams started, I just thought my eyes were finally being opened. I don't know. A moment ago, it all seemed so clear. Oh, right. We're all having these dreams, too, that are driving this to us. Also, so everyone's aware, I guess all the housekeeping, because I didn't do that yet. Subs at the end of the stream. I will read all that stuff then, and thank you for doing it in the meantime, but I will read your messages then. No spoilers. This is my first playthrough, and I don't want it to be a playthrough where I'm spoiled with your ideas even. So please do not post what you would do in the chat, because if I read it, it might color me because I don't know if you played the game or not and whether it does a thing or not. I just want to kind of lead myself through this. If I need your help, I'm definitely going to be like, what the hell do I do here? Okay, chat, what the hell do I do here? I'm going to actually call you guys, you know, poll the audience, essentially. So, all right. Give it some time. The ocean will always be there. Softer way to tell him to not think about that. But I kind of want him to start thinking more about his family, too. Like, it's like, don't throw what you love, your family needs you. I'm like, that's kind of also important. Maybe he just needs I think he just needs the kick to help remind him of that. Henry nods slowly, silently, like a ship rocking gently in the swell. I guess you're right, it's not about me, is it? I may not belong here, but it doesn't mean it's not my place. At sea, my duty was to the ship. Now, I guess my duty is to them. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Drop one before Cullum. Cullum is calmed greatly since last time. He is once again oscillating into his more somber brooding mode. He almost looks professional. He looks almost professional as he conducts a little business with some rail-thin gangers aching for their fix. Back again, I see. What is it about this place? The music, the sweaty bodies, or is my messed up family that keeps bringing you back? I'm not much of a dancer. I like to keep tabs on people. Not sure the people around here are worth keeping tabs on. Well, if you can keep it on the down low, got news I'm dying to share with somebody. You runner types are good with secrets, right? Let's hear it. So I didn't say yes or no. So I snuck up behind my mother's back. I can't believe those words coming out of my mouth. No grown men should have to ever say that, but that's what I had to do, and so that's what I did. Finally met this guy who wants to be my benefactor. His name is Matthew Tighe. He's a human guy. He rolled up on the dock in a speedboat with, like, guards and everything. Real slick dude, like, classy. Powerful classy. He asked me to call him Matt. Isn't that great? I hopped in and off we went. We had dinner together. It was a little strange, but I'm still glad I went. The things he told me. What kind of things? For one, he said he remembers my mother. Apparently he knew her well. In fact, he said he knew her better than anyone back in Bayou. That's partly how he came to know me, I guess. But the way he talked about my mother was like, I don't know, it's like there was something between them. He had this wistful look in his face and a smirk when he said her name. Probably the same kind of look on my face right now, like he was keeping a wonderful secret. I don't remember my father ever looking that way with my mother. Got me wondering about a lot of things. How was it weird? It just got weird at the end, like there was more he wanted to say, but he couldn't. Maybe he didn't want to get my hopes up too high, in case the whole arrangement didn't pan out. Not sure. The strangest part, by far, though, was when his security detail bust our table and bagged everything we touched. Glasses, plates, utensils, napkins. Matt said, it was a standard precaution for men in his position. Even the smallest genetic sample could be used to subvert biometric security systems, or could be used in ritual magic. Never really thought about it before. These are just the kind of things I think I could learn from this guy. Just look at the merchandise, why not? Here we got Jazz, and Kamikaze, and Toko. And let's go open the door. Before we talk to Ermin, when she tells me that she knows that he went out and had dinner, that's going to be great. Troll woman looks more weary than you have ever seen her. The club is virtually shut down. She doesn't seem to care. They only have the one track. Maybe that's why they're losing business. She has lost that presence which has once so defined her and has left her visibly smaller. The world's gone mad, hasn't it? The world's always been mad. Now what's happened? She looks at the nearby photo of her son Cullum, hanging from metal shelf. Cullum thinks Henry isn't his father. He thinks I had an affair. He even threatened to tell Henry if I don't let him leave. Whoa, shit, really? What? Really? He just straight up told you that? Truth is, he's right. I did have an affair. I had several affairs. I was young and beautiful and very aggressive. I was going places. Henry was gone at sea most of the time. Henry isn't Cullum's father, but I can't tell Cullum the truth about his father. It might destroy him. Let me guess, Cullum's father's a mysterious new benefactor. Yes, he is. That man now whispers promises to my son, a free ride through university, a guaranteed starting position at Bayou, a bright future. Cullum doesn't know what that world is like. Once I was ready to leave Henry for that man. He lavished gifts on me. He told me I was special. Maybe he really did love me. I was a troll girl from Haoi, transcending her meager beginnings. I was becoming someone of worth, and I even had a powerful human lover. Herman fixes a level gaze at you. Bayou's always frowned on metahumans. I was an exception. I thought that just because they accepted me, it wouldn't affect me anymore. In fact, I myself looked down on most metahumans as oversensitive and lazy. Then he invited me for a high-level corporate retreat for the weekend. What happened? My eyes were opened. Do you want to know what they do at those retreats? They hunt. Well, what is there to hunt here in Hong Kong? Nothing. Nothing but that which is different. Those they secretly disdain. Those they see as animals. They hunt poor metahumans. Somehow they thought I'd be okay with it. They thought I was one of them. They don't kill their prey. It's most satisfying to let them live, knowing their victims are powerless to find justice. They take trophies. The tips of an elf's ears, an orc's tusks, a troll's horns. She reaches up to stroke her own horns as if reassuring herself that they're still intact. I realized I'd already given them a trophy. My basic humanity, my principles. Ermin's voice cool and professional. Ermin's voice is cool and professional. Her expression is earnest. For me, it wasn't about humans versus elves or orcs or dwarves or my kind. Well, I understand that, Beach. It was about common humanity. It's about how we treat all people. What did you do? I acted like it was fine and held together for the weekend. I hid my feelings like any good negotiator in a bad position. Then once the weekend was over, I cleaned up my office. I came back to Haoi and sent Bayou my resignation. Later, I found out I was pregnant with Cullum. When the DNA test confirmed Henry wasn't the father, I meant to terminate the pregnancy, but couldn't bear to do it. And so, Cullum, my son, one of the joys of my life. Maybe this man fancies himself as Cullum's father. Even if he does, it still doesn't guarantee Cullum's safety among those people. Bayou is still Bayou. Maybe that man just wants to get back at me for leaving him. After all, he had the audacity to say that I broke his heart. This is why I can't allow Cullum to go. I'd rather my son hate me forever than give himself to that world. Ermin draws herself up to her full height. She restores herself to her usual regal bearing. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have troubled you with my problems. You probably came here on business and your time is valuable. Can I show you anything? Let's have a look. All them guns. And then there's the really big guns. Ah, big armor showing up now. And cool looking grenades. I will exit that. Alright. What do we do here? Spider Shed. Spider Shed. Heather and I went and saw Spider-Man Far From Home. I really enjoyed it. I would say 7.5, 8 out of 10. It was a nice, fun movie. Felt like two different movies, but I don't think that hurt it. Definitely because the crux of the movie is Spider-Man's still trying to hide a bunch of stuff from his friends, so there's like two different things going on, and he's trying to find his role, and it was not 7.58 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 4 out of 5 stars. I'm like, this was really good. This was maybe not the most enjoyable of all the Marvel movies I've ever seen, but it's definitely right up there. Like I enjoyed it like I enjoyed a lot of the other Marvel movies. I was like, this is a fun, good movie. I'm not gushing about it, but I'm just like, I think what I paid to see it, which was about 7 or 8 Canadian dollars, was great. I think that was right on what I wanted to spend. That's what I usually want to just spend to see a movie anyway. But Into the Spider-Verse was remarkable, and definitely one of my favorite Marvel movies. It is incredibly engaging and so nice to see something completely different than what I've come to expect out like Spider-Man or anything else. So that was a lot of fun. All right. All right, Spider. Spider. Shen nods in greeting as you approach. Good to see you, Beach. What can I get you today? I guess just show me what you got. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, Chinese war sword. It's just Centurion laser axe. Racing fulmination. Getting skilled with this sword, the wielder gains +1 AP on their next turn. Wow! What a neat idea. Ceremonial combat garb. And all sorts of chi casting stuff. Yeah, unless I'm willing to buy a weapon and keep it in my inventory and then hand that over. I feel like it's like, because it's like damage 5 for each one for the mono sword, and I'm like, 3,500. Why wouldn't I spend that on something with more damage? Because it doesn't seem to do anything else. Like, this is extremely sharp and unlikely to blunt, and it's like, sure, but it's not doing that much damage. Like, yeah, I could put a weapon in my stash and give it to Gaichu, who I find I like how I'm building everybody out to the point where I'm really enjoying everybody's abilities. So we're not going to go into our ship just yet, but because obviously what I want to do is explore everything here. Since I dropped a thing with, probably want to go see Crafty actually. So I'm just going to pretend, I guess maybe not pretend. I'm just going to act as if that save before Spider. Since there's no real dialogue, I can come do this instead. Oh, Crafty's moved, which means that there's more to talk about. A sight unexpected from the Windows slapdash product display strikes you as you walk through the shop. Everything is clean, unusually clean. Not spotless. A nearby food plate resting atop a small collection of books speaks to that. But otherwise, the piles of journals and notebooks and books from before are, for the most part, on shelves. Organized. The shopkeeper is nowhere to be seen. You don't remember whether an open sign was on the front door, but the handle turned easily enough. Someone must be here. You approach the front counter and see a service bell. Ring the bell. You hear a thump, followed by a loud, "Shit!" I mean, I could do that even louder if you want, but we'll leave it at that. Crafty leaps up from behind the counter, rubbing the top of her head, a duster in her other hand. Her eyes widen when she sees you. Beej. Wow, you've been busy. I feel like I've walked into another dimension. Crafty waves your comment away. I was getting hounded by some of my regular patrons and maybe a sanitation officer or two. You see the urgency in her eyes as she leans forward. That doesn't matter, Beej. I found it. The thing we've been searching for. I know what's happening in the walled city. Well, what is it? She takes a breath. The Yama Kings. They're real. Well, that's a big leap from imaginary monsters. Crafty's eyes hold your gaze with an unshakable intensity. I'm serious. You know me, Beej. I'm the last person to start believing in Santa Claus, much less my mother's ravings. But this is solid. The Yama Kings are real, and they're coming. She lays her palms flat on the counter, almost breathless. They've been on their way to the walled city since the place was built. The dreams, they're portents of their coming. Omens manifested as dreams. Still, just think about it. The strange things we've been dreaming, the sensations, the hunger, asleep or awake, it affects us all the time, anywhere. The connection, we're all in or near the walled city, itself a beacon for disaster. Something, or some things, have noticed the city, and now we're noticing them. And everything that's happened in the walled city's been the Yama Kings all along? Well, not quite. I don't think the Yama Kings are the cause of the walled city's corruption. They're the effect. Something in the walled city has so polluted the feng shui of the place that it's acting as a magnet for malevolent astral beings. Mom was right. There's something at work in the walled city. I don't know if it's a curse or something else, but there's something deeply unnatural at work in that place. Excuse me. Her words shake. I'm so sorry, Mother. I thought I was closing my eyes to your madness, but all I did was prevent myself from seeing the truth, from seeing what was unfolding right in front of me. Can the Yama Kings leave the walled city? Why would they? The curse, or whatever it is that's attracting Yamakeeks to the walled city, has turned the city into an ideal hunting ground. With the practiced sweep of her hand, she tucks a strand of hair behind her ear. A foggy handprint slowly disappears from the counter where her hand was pressed. Have you ever heard of terraforming? It's an old science fiction idea. You make a planet, like the moon or something, into an Earth-like environment to support human habitation. That's what's happening in the walled city, only in reverse and on an astral level. I think that pent-up toxic chi in the walled city is turning the place into an extension of the Yamakeeks' home plane, making the environment there hospitable for them. They won't range beyond it for the same reason why you wouldn't leave a bathysphere in the deep ocean. But, as we've seen, that corruption is spreading. It's already starting to seep into Heioi. If left unchecked for another 30, 40 years, who knows what might happen? Are these beings what broke your mother? The Yamakeeks weren't directly responsible for Mom's corruption. It was caused by the root problem, that which attracted the Yamakeeks to the city in the first place, the poison at the bottom of the well. Whatever it is, it's been there from the very beginning, and it's in no way natural. People did this. I think some comfort in knowing that your mother was under the influence of something else. She wasn't herself. But sacrificed a lot for research. At least now you know what happened to her. Second option, I think. I know where you're coming from, Beej, but my mother still allowed herself to be corrupted. She put herself in the way of evil, and it took her. Not a second thought for anyone else. Her research has given us valuable resources. I'm glad these journals, these pieces of her mind, can be used to arm ourselves against the Yamakeeks. The knowledge it's given us will help in the trials to come. Let's backtrack for a moment. This is big, Crafty. Huge. At your words, an unusual mood watches over Crafty. She raises her hands and grips her tattooed arms, tugging her chest. Please, Beej, you have to stop it. This is evil. For yourself, for my mother, for every man, woman, and child in the walled city and Heioi. Nobody outside of our community will care about this. They've already written people like us off. If what's happening here is to be undone, we have to be the ones to undo it. The city's important to me as it is to you. I'll do whatever I can to stop the Yamakeeks. I mean, like, that's definitely what I want to say. So I'll say it. You watch her grip relax, her shoulders ease. Thank you, really. Thank you. I'd like to see what you've got in stock. Acid Bolt 4, you say? I need Conjuring 7. Well, let's see here. Conjuring. Haste 4. Well. Actually, I think Acid Bolt is in here, isn't it? As a spell. Be really nice to just like if I could turn on a thing that's just like turn on or off a thing that's like that's just like show me what I can mount or map or whatever you want to call it. Weapons. Acid Bolt 4. Like I'm at Conjuring 5, I think, something like that. Yeah, the filter. All right, outfits. Wuxing lined coat. Definitely having more armor for me, since I don't have high body. Probably not a bad idea. Maybe I'll buy the armor. Cannot buy the new weapon, but it's fine because I don't have Conjuring 7 yet. And can't buy, but I can't use that anyway because Quickness 6 is, I need a lot to get there. But I can do Mana Static. I can't do Mana Charge yet. Dual Blur. Slow-mo. Increases the target's AP cost for all actions by 2. Jesus. Oof. Blur 2. I like the idea of, also affects the caster. Makes you harder to hit as well. And consumables, don't want to do that yet. Still got to get, well, we'll have to do some more things so I can get paid for some more stuff, obviously. And I have level 2 Shamanic Salve. I think I just used the level 1 recently. Oh, yes, thank you. It is Also dinner time.
Yeah, enjoy. I'm gonna head home.
Okay.
Bye, chat.
So I'm going to buy armor because I think I need that more than I need something to hit somebody with that I can't necessarily hit someone with. I'm going to ask if, for about the next little bit, I'm going to eat while doing because I am hungry. If the noise bothers people, please say so in the chat. I will duck the mic. And I'll try to eat in between reading and stuff like that. But I want to make this comfortable for you as well. I know some people don't like this. I'm not even sure if you can hear it or not. All right. I'm now wearing that, and I have these other things. I could probably sell some of my older stuff then too. We should maybe think about doing that. Oh yes, that's exactly what I was going for. I like this. Perfect. I'm very pleased with that. And take care of some things on my end. You need to take care of things. You take care of things on yours. Will do. Good luck, Beach. More on from Final Fantasy X. All right, let's sell some of that stuff actually, because I didn't get a chance to sell anything. And Algernon's not in the store anymore at this point. Not sure where he got to. So that and that and that and that. I'll have to give Wild Aim to somebody, but keep these things. That's not bad. Gets me back some money. Sell. So I could buy myself that if I needed it. I could also buy myself the... Oh, God. So haste 3, which is what I think I have already. 1 for 4 rounds. Cost 2, cooldown 4. Cost 2, cooldown 4. Oh, has a chance to increase AP by 2. Well...
Until he got in front of a Saturn V rocket test.
Really?
Just the one engine was enough to convince him, like, yeah, we are the best country.
Oh, hang on a second, actually. Are you guys staying to hang out, or?
No.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna. Cool. I'll see you later. You too. I'll just leave this open then. There was some chatter about whether there was going to be late night hangouts here before everyone left to go have dinner, and so if they were, I was going to make sure the door was shut. But I will be the only one left here, and everyone's going to go on their way. I'm eating pizza from the Brickyard. I didn't even notice her come in. Let's keep my current loadout. Mana charge will probably be something I end up picking. I want to see whether or not Mana Charge 3 is, if that shows up, I'll probably spend the money on that instead. But I feel like that's pretty, I kind of want to get up to that, because being able to lay down a ley line wherever, like maybe that is just valuable to do just like right now. Pick that up right now. But I've got 9. I've got 9 karma. I could bump my conjuring, I think, up to 6 out of that, and then I'm in a position of being able to drop a ley line wherever I am, which then means that my acid bolts can jump and getting like more targets at once. And I feel like that's actually like really good. Like playing somebody who buffs is not so bad, and being able to also like drop stuff like dual blur, I think is a really cool idea as well, where it's like I can reduce chances to hit, even though it's for like one round. It's like that's not so bad. It gets them maybe in a position of being able to move out. But I think picking a mana charge right now is a good idea.
Just all in white and then labeled
So
stencil English.
having that, taking that with me, making myself like being able to improve the chance of the stuff that I'm doing, or not improve the chance, improve the ability somewhat, I feel is actually a really good move. Yeah, let's do it. We'll put that up there. I still have only haste 1, eh? Right, I can't mount it until I have the conjuring, so that's okay. I'll remember to do that after here. Right, it always sucks whenever I'm in like a position where I'm like, I need to be able to have a ley line. I can't get to one, or it's way out in the open. So let's... Nope, come back. Stop running away. Let's have a look at this. Spend karma! There we go. Put one more into that. I put one into spirit. If I wait for one to get to there, I can wait for another karma to get to there, and then maybe rather than just dumping it here at that point. So I think we'll just confirm that. Yeah, I think that's probably fine. Cool. Now I look at my loadout. I guess I have to go to my stash and grab it, or something. Spells. Gear. I did buy it, right? Thought I bought it. Alright, the Egakar thing is back again. Still having the dreams. I think we're probably just at the end of that, where that's going to go at this point. Okay, we're going to take a save, talk to Matthew. No real need to do this conversation. Oh. Right. She found out a thing, and she was like, come see me so we can have a conversation about the thing. I was like, right. Well, I dropped down to save. So I think we'll go see Kindly and see what's about to happen. Oh, there's all sorts of people here. I really want another bite of pizza, so we're gonna do that. Kindly Cheng is in the midst of emptying 2 plastic shopping bags when you enter. She places the contents in a pile on her mahjong table. 2 liquor bottles without labels. That's weird. A box of her thin black cigars, an assortment of individually wrapped gourmet chocolates, and a large caliber pistol with electrical tape wrapped around its grip. Ah, good you're here. She finishes with the plastic bags and throws them to the floor. It seems like forever since we saw each other. Welcome back. Was your trip worthwhile? Her voice is filled with a rusty energy. Yes, my darling, yes. I met with several contacts within my network who referred me to others in neighboring cities. Regardless of how far technology moves forward, tradition demands that some things be handled face-to-face. I've returned with information that will lead you to the plastic-faced man, the man who killed Raymond Black. Raymond Black isn't dead. I tried woman's eyes narrow. He isn't? The man who raised us isn't Raymond Black. He's Edward Sang, the son of Josephine Sang. I think we just... I think we do that one. You were raised by Josephine's son? Her brow furrows. That explains where Edward went when he disappeared years ago. Seattle. Any idea why he disappeared? No, just that he went missing after Josephine completed rebuilding the walled city. That was in the early 30s. Her face twists into a mask of disgust. You realize what this means, don't you, my sweet? That inbred little goat whore was cold enough to have her own son executed. I'll take the first one. Even more recent to find the plastic face man. What have you found out? Everything you need to move forward. She grabs a bottle and opens it. I know the identity of the plastic face man. His name is Li Tai Lung. Li Tai Lung, and he's an independent contractor. A trusted, deniable asset who handles all of Josephine Sang's more delicate operations off the books and away from the public eye. The plastic-faced man is her shadowy right hand outside of the corporation. Chang doesn't bother with the glass. She takes a long pull off the stinking bottle and wipes her mouth with the back of her hand. And I know how to find him, too. I've made contact with an information broker, Zhao Zi, who works out of an abandoned night market in Shek Kip Mei called the Xing House Court. It's not hard to find. She takes another pull in the bottle. Zhao Zi has gained access to the plastic-faced man's complete itinerary, where he'll be, or who he'll be with, what sort of security he'll have, the works. She grins glassy-eyed. You can use it to perform an extraction. Grab him and find out what he knows. Did you find out why he has a face made of plastic? Not just his face. Li Tai Lung's entire skull is synthetic. He's designed himself to be the perfect corporate operative. He's installed a unique piece of headwear, you see. It allocates and compartmentalizes client-related memories so that they can be erased upon completion of a job. And as an added security measure, this cortical implant will wipe his memory if it detects that he's been captured. So you need a way to circumvent the implant. Exactly. Unless you can find a way around the cortical implant, you'll have no way to extract the information he has and figure out what happened to Raymond Black. She circles the mouth of the bottle with her finger. Now I've done my part in this, my darling. You need to find a way to neutralize that device. Isabel interjects, her voice breaking slightly as she speaks. I know a way. I've heard of something like this before. I met someone in the Matrix who had to shirk a similar memory wipe implant once. It was a requirement for a big job, and she pulled it off. Duncan, keep talking. Isabel, her handle is Dreamland, and I know where to find her. All that we have to do is convince her to give up the secret of how she did it. Okay, Isabel and I will go see Dreamland before we hit the information broker. Then we grab the plastic-faced man. Duncan, no matter who you choose to help you snatch this guy, I'm going to be there when you extract the information about him, about Raymond. From him about Raymond. Wu crosses his arms across his chest and tilts his head towards you. You got that, Adam? Gobbet, we should all be there. Gobbet's eyebrows arch high. I know that I want to see this. Kylie Ching, very good, my darlings. Now listen to me. After you get what you need from the plastic-faced man, I want you to end him. You understand? Triad Bass taps the table with her finger. I need to send a very clear message that this is what happens when you mess with Kindly Ching's operations, with Kindly Ching's people. Josephine takes Nightjar. I take her plastic-faced man. Once you snatch the plastic-faced man, Sang will know something is happening, and events will unfold very quickly after that. Excuse me. You best close out any pressing business you have before heading to Shek Kip Mei to see Zhao Zi. Do you understand? So maybe just computer see if I have any jobs I want to knock out before I hit the MTR for Shek Kip Mei. Business is business, my darling. Kindly Chang wraps the mahjong table with an imitation ivory tile, and business has been good since you arrived. All right. So I have many choices. I have all these other jobs I want to knock out. Another bite. Okay, so anything I do now is ahead of the end game, which is fine. Let's save and talk to Law. Time for metadata. Weird. Like, these are unusual answers or conversation choices. Because I tell him this stuff. Great, I tell him this stuff. But I'm giving away, like, what happened. Like, these are things you think you're supposed to keep secret, like, to yourself, so that people don't know, like, what happened when something goes down. It's like, yeah, if we don't spill the information, there's no way people come looking for us. But my understanding is that anything that I do here, this helps open up more things to do with Law. And I'm like, I kind of feel that'd be interesting. So, all right, let's share some stuff, I guess. Wait, hang on. Maybe what I'll do... I am the biggest carnivore in the Kong. Maybe what I'll do a few more of these other missions that we're going to do. Then before we do the Plastic Face Man mission... That'll be when I share all the metadata with him. It was just having somebody write a thing on a FAQ or whatever somewhere where they were like, there's a whole thing about sharing metadata with him, and that's valuable. But if you don't share metadata with him often enough along the same whatever. It can close off a mission because he'll get replaced by somebody else at some point because something happens. And if you're not ready to, like, work within that. And I was like, it does what? Okay, shit. Now that I've read this thing in this FAQ, I'm like, I'm just going to sit on all of it and kind of give it to him all at once because hopefully that will allow me to you know, do everything at once. So, oh yeah, the inspect thing is just the name of the ship. We changed it to the Dowager Empress because I thought it was great. See? Now it reads Dowager Empress, and I can always apparently go talk to Gobbet and change it if I want to, but I'm not gonna, because I like it. Alright, let's drop a save now, even though it probably was... We didn't do anything with law. Workstation, yes it is. I have a new unread message. More notes. There we go. Crafty, Beej, more notes. Beej, while I was blazing through my mom's journal, something struck me. We spent so much time reading about the walled city that we haven't thought to look at it, to paint a picture with the information we've been gathering. So I contacted a friend of mine, Riley, a Decker, and asked her to pull some data for me. Her results were surprising, and for what's worth, I think we're onto something. Riley dug up records of things like reported sleep disturbances, psychotic breaks, HKPF responses to cult activities, etc. She found they all form a classic bullseye heat pattern around the walled city. She couldn't find any data from within the walled city itself, but the outside data was still enough to establish the pattern inside the slum. This has got to be more than a coincidence. It's too unnatural to be attributed to anything else. I don't know what it means yet, but I've got my notes of the books. I'll let you know when I find out. One other thing, that last email I sent you, the one with my mother's notes, I went ahead and reread it, and then it took me back to the source text, and I was able to pull something else from her list. This isn't much, but it seems to be pretty consistent across her ramblings. If I'm reading it right, it's kind of like a set of rules that governs the interactions of the Yama Kings. It's surprisingly bureaucratic if I'm reading it right. The most interesting tidbit is this. There's something here about the Kings being unable to back down in a deal. It's like, if they give an inch, they forfeit everything. From what I'm reading, the Yama Kings have their own code of laws, but they don't have to follow them unless you know how to call them on it. Like, if they break... Like, they break the rules all the time, but if you can't cite chapter and verse on which rule they're breaking, it doesn't matter to them. Approach from a place of wisdom, though, and you can bind them with their own laws. Anyway, this is all really arcane stuff, but I think that there might be something here. I can't vouch for any of it, obviously. When you take a step back, it all sounds like crazy talk. But one thing that I can tell you for certain, my mother believed it was true. If anything else comes up, you'll be the first to know. Crafty. So we're gonna astral lawyer them. BBS, BBS. 792, not bad. Explosions in the Eastern District? Not this Decker shit. Oh my god, it's gonna be weird. What's up with all the explosions rocking the Eastern District? My walls were just shaking. Say what? 12358. Word has it, Shiawase has a secret lab tucked away in an old industrial building out here. I'm guessing the rumor's true. Mistress Tiny. Correction, I think Shiawase had a lab out here. Sandwiches are sexy. It's really stinking where I'm at. It's a cross between sulfur and weirdly new car smell. I wonder what they were doing. I like 12358. That's Fibonacci. Obviously avoiding the first one, but yeah. Better put on your gas mask for good measure, man. Mistress Tiny. Decker looking for team. Experienced Decker looking for team to run with. Potential for a longer-term arrangement. I'm taking over the business interests of a team of runners running basic heists and the occasional transport gig. I'm in contact with a reliable fixer and will be working with the old team's long list of happy clients. Oh shit. Requirements. You must not take experimental stims during runs. You must not tamper with chemicals in secret labs. You must know how to properly operate a moped. You must listen to your Decker when your Decker says, I don't have control of that turret yet. You must have a good sense of humor. Optional. Shenzhen Joe. Jesus. Hey, what happened to give me some new in 888? I recognize his ad. It's his boilerplate. His team is also always looking for a new Decker. What the hell happened? Blink, I gotcha, 23. See that fourth item on the requirements list? Shenzhen Joe. Oh shit, that's nuts. Are all of them gone? Muffin Top Ninja? Captain Scone? Blink, I gotcha, 23. All of them, even Explodey Sue. I hardly got to know them, but they were good people, Shenzhen Joe. What a terrible loss. You had no idea who you were running the shadows with, huh? Exploding was a great war hero, tough as nails, could have tipped the scales for Taiwan if she hadn't knocked herself out with the force of her own mana blast at a crucial moment. Blink, I got you 23. No shit, Shins and Joe. It gets better. Muffin Top Ninja was one of the most revered martial arts masters in the JIS until his health began to fail. He was well known for his self-deprecating humor. And Gimme Some New in AAA was a great philanthropist. Every cred he earned, he poured back into helping the indigent population of the walled city where he grew up. Blink, I got you 23. And Captain Scone, I kind of chuckle at his name, but I'm thinking there's more to it. Shenzhen Joe. I'll say he was a Scottish separatist who campaigned tirelessly for the restoration of his country. When his activism drew too many enemies, he fled and became a pillar for the Scottish expat community in Hong Kong. As for his name, think Stone of Scone. These amazing people couldn't just catch a break. And now this. Rip. I'm mortified. I wish I'd gotten to know them better. Wish I'd gotten that turn down faster. Seems like you knew them very well then, Shenzhen Joe. I suppose so. I'm a Decker who responded to one of their first ads. My gut said not to join them, but we developed a lot of mutual respect over the years. I never thought I'd live to see one of their Deckers live. Blink, I got you 23. Well, although it would make 2 Deckers, I don't suppose you'd like to team up? I don't think so, no. That's too bad. Scun. Stun of Scun. Go back. Open jobs. Active jobs. There's attending a party. Had to do that still. There's that restaurant job also. I like the attending a party idea. Get to read Paul Spade, dig up some dirt on Neville, maybe get Penny Wong out of her contract. Right. Okay, very good. Give me something easy on Neville. Wait, hang on. Did he say your friend for life? You do good, I'm your friend for life. That's what it is. So, maybe we'll do the party one. Hey, Beach, were those the runners you ran into in that building? No, I don't believe they were. Well, then again, no, because they all died. But I don't know. I don't think that they were. Anyway, I think we're gonna do the party one next. Let's go talk to everybody. Raptor's shop is alive with motion. Wall-mounted tools hammer and spark, with each according to its own rhythm. The cacophony reverberates in the metal confines of the converted engine room, attacking your ears as the light of acetylene torches stabs your eyes. My friend, you've come back. Raptor turns towards you. His boots are off, and you can see the metallic gleam of his feet. Free from the confines of his boots, the appendages have unfolded. Clawed, gripping toes splay out in all directions, at least 8 to a foot. They look alien and predatory, like the talons of some great carnivorous bird. I wasn't convinced you'd want to continue our little chats after the last time. From under his desk, a glint of light catches your eye. Koshie. I'm glad that I was wrong. Absolutely, are you kidding? I wouldn't miss our talks for the world. I'm pleased to hear you say so. I rather enjoy them myself. He turns, the sound of metal and metal filling your ears. So, what shall we talk about? What's up with your feet? Replacements that I was fitted with all those many years ago. The many talon-like toes that splay out from his feet claw at the ground and scraping against the metal flooring. They have been modified somewhat between then and now, as you can see. Improved. What animal did you base your redesign on? The claws are inspired by the harpy eagle, quite a majestic creature. A hunter of primates, you know, he smiles. The quantity was driven by artistic license. Impractical, perhaps, but they please me all the same. I see the shop's up and running again. What are you working on now? More options for Koshie, as always. He's still far from perfect, but every iteration inches him closer. Questions for you about something that you mentioned last time. The corner of his mouth lifts into a wry smile. Yes, I imagine you do. Go on, then. Ask away. Sir, in your ideal future, people without empathy, morality, or humanity will replace the rest of us. Does that sound about right? You have what you believe is true. The people with your condition on the earth, how long do you think that can last? I want to start with the first one, because it just seems like we just go down them and we can hear what he has to say about everything. Yes, people like me. Tell me, my friend, how does it make you feel? What is your gut reaction to the vision that I've shared with you? I mean, I'm not ever going to do this thing that he's doing, because it, you know, unless there's a way to be a completely cyborg shaman, but anyway. Terrifies me. You frown snoringly. Of course it does. You do not share a selective advantage. You see what is to come and it repels you. For a man in your position, this is only natural. Revulsion is the expected response. I promise you, my friend, if you move past your atavistic reaction, you'll see how right this is. The sixth world is no place for compassion. It is a predatory world, a world of monsters. Some of those came with the awakening and others of our own design, but they are there. And if we are to survive, we need to shed those weaknesses that prevent us from competing with them. I speak with the clarity of a man who is not a man in mind or in body. The things that others refuse to see are as plain to me as the light of day. I tell you, my friend, life is better this way. One day you will see for yourself, and you will thank me for what I have shared with you. All right, if you believe what is true, if your people are conditional here on the earth, how long do you think that can last? Thank you, Fern. I'm glad I finished third in the Lure Summer Games. I was surprised I finished third in the Lure Summer Games. Because let's be fair, finishing last in 2 events should not have propelled me to third. Okay, so what makes me ask? I think what Ractor wants is, he doesn't want to be mollified or condescended to. He wants to have the debate. Thank you, Tales from the Mana Crypt. Enjoy the VOD. I think this is better to go with. You're suggesting the thing about their ecosystem cannot just consist totally of predators. You're suggesting that we'll burn ourselves out, annihilate ourselves. I will concede that this is possible, but I think it unlikely. This is the sixth world, after all. Even if meta-humanity is supplanted by post-humanity, there will be other forces at work in the world. We will not be alone. Talking about the supernatural, dragons, spirits, that kind of thing. Yes, any form of intelligence that cannot or will not make the leap that we will make. Dragons and spirits would qualify. So would any metahuman holdovers that cling to their natural bodies. Artificial intelligences could also prove problematic. The solution for dealing with this problematic species would be... what would be... Actually, just more of this. What would they be to you? Competition? Prey? That remains to be seen, but they would give my people something to rally against. Against. The corner of his mouth tilts upward. The smile contains no worth. I, for one, am looking forward to see how it all plays out. Aren't you? All right. You said you were diagnosed as a psychopath when you were 8. What led to that diagnosis? My mother had me tested. She always kept a watchful eye on me, obsessively so, truth be told. It was a rather poor way to experience childhood. Why was she watching you? What did you do? Very little. She blew my childhood behaviors out of proportion, I'm afraid. The woman had always been motivated by fear. He sighs. She had her reasons, I suppose. Defined very little for me. A neighbor had a pet rooster. It would crow at strange hours and wake me up. It woke everybody up. We all hated that rooster. He shrugs. So one day I cut its throat with a hobby knife. Did this bird have a name? Chanticleer. I suppose my neighbor thought himself very clever. He was a self-congratulatory fool, and his bird was a pest, so I gave it the send-off that it deserved. You killed a neighbor's pet. That isn't very little. In a puritanical mood, are we? So tiresome. I eliminated a public nuisance. You steal and kill for money. The next time you feel like moralizing, focus on your own ethical deficiencies. Oh, yes. Great. Great argument. As I was saying, my mother walked in on me as I was studying the body. One look and I could see it in her eyes. Grim certainty and a sense of righteous justification for a lifetime of suspicion. She hauled me before a psychiatrist the next day. So after you're diagnosed, what happened? He shrugs. I learned what was expected of me. The doctor was very helpful in that regard. He also offered false hope and placebos and false promises that he could cure me if my family met his price. And to me, he offered an escape. All that I had to do was play along and my problems would be solved. It wasn't difficult to pretend that I had been cured. Once I understood the outward signs my mom was looking for, I was able to ape them well enough. In time, my mother came around. So you lied then. You pretended to be cured when you weren't. I put on a mask, both for my own benefit and the benefit of my family. I knew what would happen if I didn't. I had been caught. My mother's scrutiny would only increase if I didn't convince her that I was better. My grandfather lived out his final days in Black Dolphin Prison. Do you know the place? Is it anything like a Supermax in the UCIS? In terms of conditions, it's far worse. Black Dolphin is one of the most appalling detainment facilities in Russia, and that is saying quite a lot. I was determined not to wind up trapped in such a place. I'm not an animal to be caged. Ractor bends down and runs his fingers over Koshier's chassis. The drone stands motionless, the lenses of its many optical sensors focused on you. In any case, there you have it. I'm glossing over many of the details, of course, but I'd rather not discuss my childhood any further. Instead, let's think to the future, and to the promise that it holds. So where do we go from here? Forward, my friend. Always forward. Silently, Koshie studies you, its articulated pedipalps weaving hypnotically. You'll join me, won't you? The future beckons both of us equally. Follow me, and I will guide you into a better tomorrow. I can think of nothing that would please me more. We'll agree to disagree about your perfect future. For the present, though, you have my support. Very good, my friend. If nothing else, I will have ample time to convince you. But in the immediate future, there's a small matter of the walled city to contend with. I will, of course, continue to help you as best I can. I need allies as badly as you do, and it is in my best interest to keep them alive. It's my best interest to keep you alive, too. You're the most interesting person on this boat. I don't know about that. Good, let's keep it that way. You have nothing to fear, my friend. I am your friend. You can trust me. His smile glints white. And now, if you'll excuse me... Hey, I know. You've got work to do. You see? You know me so well, it's as if we share a single mind. He nods, smiling. Goodbye. Can I ask him about the last run? Yeah. No, I wasn't there, remember? Oh, right, you were here. That's right, it was Gobbet's run was the last one. Which means that Gaichu will have a different... he was not on the run either, so... Gaichu's examining his armor and gear, looking for defects. Beej, I'm ready to go when you are, but it doesn't hurt to do a last-minute inspection. Message me from the MTR station when you are ready. All right. I mean, I guess I could do Gaichu's side mission. That would be an option. Let's talk to Duncan. I have what other runs do you have available? Bodacious Nia asks. Well, I have the Red Samurai run. I have the restaurant run. I have there's another run, a data something or other run, and then I also have a there's another one I have to look at, some sort of data payload run. I can't remember what it is. Let's talk to Duncan now that I've dropped a save. The clanking of metal followed by grunts from hard exercise erupt from the hatchway of Wu's cabin. First thing you notice when you enter is its renewed cleanliness. The food cans are gone and his equipment is neatly laid out on his bedding, everything in its place. Next thing you notice is a smell. It's like a middle school locker room in July. Jesus. Wu finishes his jumping jacks and grabs a towel off his bunk. His exposed flesh gleams with perspiration. Hey. We'll open a portal. This place reeks. Do you see a portal, Adam? This is an interior cabin, not the best for ventilation, but I don't think you came by to check on my hygiene. What's your deal? Still thinking about Edward Sang? He rubs a towel under his arms. Compartmentalized him. Edward Sang is a topic in a file cabinet in my head. I'm only thinking about Raymond now. Finding out what happened to him. What really happened to him. Taking it a moment at a time, huh? That's me, Mr. Focus. He continues stretching. Any close to plastic-faced man, Duncan? I know I haven't stopped thinking about him since we first saw him in that video, the one where he attacked Raymond in the tea house. He wipes down one side of his neck with a towel, folds it, wipes down the other side. Listen, Adam, I'm not going to press you to take me with you when you head out to snatch him. You take the right people for the job, and then you get the job done, okay? But I want to be there when you interrogate him. I want to hear what he has to say with my own ears. Are you going to have a problem with that? No, of course not. Good, we're brothers. I'd hate to have to mess you up. He flashes his pearly whites. Like I said, you can take me with you on the run or not. It's your call, but I intend to be there for the fun part. Easy Duncan is about Raymond, not about hurting people for kicks. Knock out the easy Duncan crap, Adam. I'm not doing anything for kicks. He drops his towel on the bunk. This is the guy who knows what the hell's going on. The one who may have killed Raymond, and I'm going to squeeze him until I find out what he knows. I don't like that. I know there's the whole thing about I'm the bronze and he's the brain. Right, that's what he says. I'm the brain. Duncan is the brawn. I don't want to dismiss it. I do want to, like, number one, no. Number two, maybe. Number three, more maybe. Yeah, I just promise you're going to be able to control yourself. Otherwise, we are going to have a problem. This is Raymond we're talking about. Wu drops his hands to his sides and closes the gap between you. His voice is calm, sober, deliberate. I'm not going to screw this up, I promise. You told me you were resentful when I took off. But maybe it was about how Raymond handled that thing with Double Trey. Now, it's about you disappearing for 8 years without a word. But we're past that now. Wu pulls his right elbow across his hand with his... Wu pulls his right elbow across his chest with his left hand. It gets a good stretch. Actually, it is a good stretch. I will do that again. But that was a messed up night. A lot of things happened, and I wouldn't be surprised if some, I don't know, emotions got jumbled together. About the fight with Raymond? Yeah, mostly. We butted heads before. I'd broken plenty of his rules in the past, but I've never seen him so disappointed. I'm still not sure why. Why don't you walk through from the beginning? Start with when Lockjaw showed up at Ray's house. Wu pulls his left elbow across his chest and lets out a little groan. I mean, I would too. I am eating some pizza, Richards, from the Brickyard. Heather brought me some because I wouldn't have had an opportunity to go get dinner. So this was 2045. Years after the summer we moved in with Raymond. We hadn't seen DT or Lockjaw or any of the gang in forever. Raymond's rules: no contact with her hoodlum friends, no visiting the squat to check up on them. Your past is a story. If you accept that, your past loses all power over you. Wu wrinkles his nose. You don't sound anything like him. The way I remember it, we woke up in the middle of the night and there was Lockjaw standing in our room covered in blood. My first thought is that Raymond was going to kill us. Can you imagine? There's a teenage Salish Indian covered in blood in our bedroom, and my first thought was that I might get in trouble for it. We just started a new life. We were safe for the first time ever. We didn't want to blow it. I know I didn't want to go back to the Barrens. We had it good at Raymond's. Wu throws his elbows behind him, twists at the waist. So Lockjaw's bleeding all over a bedroom and you're whispering, "Where's DT? What happened to Double Trey?" 5 minutes later, we're dressed in black and on our way back to the Barrens. What the hell were we thinking? We were thinking that we owed those guys. DT was the one who took us to the teen center and introduced us to Raymond. Man, that was a messed up night. The 162s had overrun the Leary squad. Better position to take on the nukes. Benzo and Tusk were bleeding out. The Hernandez family was half-eaten. And little Joe, the streetwalker with the electric false eyelashes, was lying on the floor in 2 parts. Got Double Trey out alive. He was the only one, though, who steers his boot. I can still hear Lockjaw screaming as the ghouls took him down. And the 162s wanted something they did not play. Anyway, all that was just lead up. He let out a long, slow breath. Still, speaks to my state of mind that night, why I wouldn't back down when Raymond met us at the door. Neither of you would budge. We both had the strength of the righteous. You and I had broken the rules, his rules out of loyalty, out of gratitude. He just didn't get that. Can you see it from his perspective? Now I can, yeah. Wu rubs his head thinking. He didn't just think we had broken his rules or that we'd backslid. He thought that we'd been playing him the whole year, that we were still street hoods. No wonder he was so furious. He felt betrayed. You were able to get him to calm down and see reason, get him to see my side of the story. And all you said was that one thing. That thing He said his mother used to say to him when he was being obstinate. What the hell was it? I think it's the third one, really. Listen to what you know instead of what you fear. Listen to what you know instead of what you fear. Wu nods his head, remembering. Yeah, that what you fear thing really got to him. Still not sure why. Using his mother's words on him really did the trick. I wonder what kind of childhood he had. He rubs his chin, but the way he looked at you after that. Yeah, I know, I figured I'd have to remember that. 24 Witches. Don't worry, I was like, his mother's words? Okay. I'm sure this will come back later. I know, I think that might have been part of why I left. Or we were never the same. Crazy. He was furious with you, but all I did was quote his mother and I got the big chill. Maybe he's got mommy issues, Wu chuckles humorlessly. And who knows, maybe I got a few daddy issues to deal with too. Guess I should try to keep an open mind when we see him. What'd you think about that last run? It was on last run. I assume it came out okay since you're here to talk about it. Yes, it is. Anytime. And away. And a bite. Beej, you're back. She doesn't bother turning, so her back too, I guess. Need something? I have a question about the walled city. Alright, go ahead. Nope, I don't. Please. Any thoughts about the last run? You know what drives me crazy about Gobbet? She does shit like this all the time. She doesn't think about anything. Not about the risk she takes, the consequences of her action, or how her behavior can hurt her friends. She just jumps, head first, into whatever crazy scheme she's got in her head, and damn everyone else. Maybe after all this, she'll finally learn her lesson. I have to say, I didn't expect to get off the sinking ship without blowing it apart. My money was on setting fire to the whole contraption and letting it burn. But you really pulled out all the stops. I can't believe we had to face down some kind of rat demon god thing. But we did. Sure, there's a lesson in there somewhere, but I'll be damned if I know what it is. Anything else you want to know? Nope. Nope. Sure, drop by anytime. I mean, that was just a follow-up. I don't need to worry about that. That was real fast. Hi, Gobbet. I got a new outfit. I'm looking very shaman-y. Shaman. Stepping into Gobbet's cabin, you find her crouching on the floor. She appears to be midway through a valiant struggle against an enormous pastry. Her cheeks bulge out like a chipmunk's, and wispy threads of pork floss hang from her crumb-speckled lips. She glances up at you, her eyes wide with alarm. Her jaw works to manage the enormous quantity of crispy dough in her mouth, but she doesn't seem to be making much headway. I absolutely have to say bitten off more than you can chew. She struggles to move her jaw, but her mouth is stuffed too full for her to make much headway. She gestures feebly towards a pitcher of water on the ground near your feet. What will you give me for it? Her eyes narrow. With her cheeks overstuffed as they are, the effect is less threatening than is comical. She raises her hands, finger displays, and hold them at shoulder height. A typical spellcasting posture. You look less like a shaman than you do a stage magician with an eating disorder. Yeah, okay. Scowling through cheeks wadded with pastry, she rises from her perch and stalks over to you. She snatches the pitcher off of the ground, lifts it to her mouth, and tilts it back. As the water pours into her mouth, she's slowly able to work through the food stored in her cheeks. Finally, she lowers the water pitcher, coughing. Okay, yeah, note to self. The pastry terrace on Prince Edward Road makes them dry. She takes another swig from the pitcher, grimacing. Moist green apple and jelly trotter my ass. That thing was more like a desert made of pig. Shouldn't try to cram the entire thing in your mouth all at once? I was challenging myself for science. It wasn't the whole pastry, it was just half of one. She lifts the remaining pastry for your inspection. The pork floss that coats its exterior looks almost festive. It's more reminiscent of a beige curly tinsel than it is a food. You want the rest? Thanks, but no, I was hoping that we could talk. She drops the mangled pastry into a clean pot on the floor. Suit yourself, I'll have it later. So, you probably want to talk about what happened on the raft, huh? I think that in your place, I probably would. I mean, that was kind of a thing, right? Yeah, let's talk about what happened on the sinking ship. Yeah, she sighs. We can do that. First off, I should thank you. You and Iz came to help me even though I didn't ask you to. Or want you to. Actually, maybe I should be upset about that. But the most important thing is that you did help me. I'm not going to say that I couldn't have handled it without you. But it would have been really, really dicey. You would have been fine. Me and Iz, she just made that a little bit easier for you. I wonder what she... I mean, Gobbet is not hurting for confidence. Oh, yeah, I should have had a piece of pizza in my mouth when that was going on. That would have been great. All three of these. I really like these. All three of them. Number 3. If I say that, it's like, yeah, we understand each other. I have a lot of confidence in Gobbet's ability to do stuff. But on her own, I think she would have had a harder time with it. Even knowing that she's very capable. Her plan was to blow the damn thing up. We didn't do that. We took a much more difficult option. But one that ultimately, hopefully, saved this place for the people who live there. So I don't think that she could have done what she needed to do other than set the bombs, get the hell out of there. So me saying, I don't think you could have done much, Gobbet, not after seeing what Melvina had turned the lower level into. That seems more accurate. And maybe she would understand, like, see that and be like, I agree. But maybe she wouldn't. Maybe she would feel like that's not, you know, like... I want her to have a more... Like, you can say that again, the situation on that raft was pretty bad. It's a very, like, na-na-na-na-na kind of thing. Moves the conversation along. But, I mean, I was there. We saved before we talked to Iz, and Iz had practically nothing to say. So that counts as a thing. So let's just go with number 2. I don't want to argue about it. Let's just say that it's a good thing you were there. She shovels her feet, stirring a pile of dirty blankets on the floor. What we walked into in that raft, well, was pretty terrible. More so than I could have imagined. On the bright side, we overthrew Melvina and put the raft back in Cad's hands. That felt pretty great. And the shiny object is at the bottom of Hung Hom Bay, lodged in a bank of silt and crab shit. It's pretty much where it belongs. But I gotta admit, something is gnawing at me. Before you and Iz showed up, I was gonna sink the raft. I got halfway through arming the charges, and I was gonna send the whole sinking ship down in flames. Everyone on it would have died. Cad, and Yasmin, all of them. All because I made up my mind early and didn't want to change it. That's the problem! Kind of makes me think, how many times before now have I done what seemed like the right thing, you know, followed my gut like I taught you, without realizing that there was a better option? Oh, yeah! Yes! This whole introspection thing kind of sucks, I gotta say. Just looks up at you scowling. It's much more comforting to just assume that all my past decisions were right. Sure it is, it's intellectually dishonest, but it's definitely comforting. She bites her lower lip. Yeah. You know, Beej, you're not helping my mood any. I'm kind of having a tough time over here. She begins to pace, kicking piles of dirty clothes and blankets out of the way. Thrusting her hands into her pockets, she fishes out madness and folly and tosses them down onto her cot. I don't do this very often. Reflecting is from mirrors, not devastatingly attractive street shamans. I don't know how you hand-wringers deal with feeling this way. Oh, Christ. Third option. Watch who you're calling a hand-wringer. You're the one who's torn up about this, not me. I'm like, no, I don't know about that. Still funny. By hang-wringers, do you mean people who learn from their mistakes? Or just, it's pretty simple. I'm going to do that. I think it's pretty simple. We acknowledge our mistakes and our near misses, and we own up to them. Okay, pretty much got that step covered. What's next? What comes after this? Teaching you a lesson now, Gobbit? Is there some sort of role reversal going on here? I do want to do that. I feel like she's earnestly asking, but I kind of want to ask this. Jesus. No, I'm going to answer a question honestly. After you suffered through your embarrassment for a while, you try to learn something from it. Huh. Your way is boring, Beej, and it's complicated, and it comes with way too many bad feelings. She scowls. But yeah, I get it. There's probably even some value there. I'm never going to start second-guessing everything that I do, though. That just isn't me. You can start second-guessing some things when new information presents itself? What a novel concept. Yes, Beej, I can do that, and I will from now on. Cross my heart. Anyway, things turned out the way that they did. I don't know what might have happened if we'd tried to do something different, but there's one thing I can say for certain. Things are better in Hung Hom Bay than they were before we went to the sinking ship. We did some good out there. That's something. I didn't go out there to save Hung Hom Bay. I did it to help you. Or just, yeah, it is. I did it to help you. Mission accomplished then. And come to think of it, there are two things that I can say for certain. You want to hear the second? Lay it on me. I think that Rat is happy that the shiny object is gone. She pauses for a moment considering. That, or maybe the stupid egg did something to me. I don't know for certain. Either way, something is different. I can feel it in my gut. Oh, but are you sure that came from Rat? Do you know what it does? I kind of want to know what it does. Beats the hell out of me. I mean, I'm sure it does something. It has to, right? Rat wouldn't just give me a normal rock. She's a trickster and all, but that'd be mean. So you mark my words, Beej. The next time we're in the field, something magical is going to happen. I mean, literally magical, possibly with explosions. It's too early to tell. She nods sagely. It'll be a journey of discovery for both of us. I'll be looking forward to that. Me too, and thank you, Beej. I really, really mean that. You can fly by my side anytime. Any thoughts about that last run? Yeah, of course I do. I mean, it's kind of a big deal, you know? Already said pretty much everything there is to be said, though, haven't we? I mean, it's not like we didn't go over this already with the important lessons about responsibility and all that. Thanks, Gobbit. I feel pretty satisfied with those conversations. Right, I have to decide what my next thing is going to be. And I did really like the idea of doing that one job. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to take a brief break. Eat a little more pizza off. Richard says, oh yeah, notice there's an optional thing you don't have anymore. Oh, I can't sleep anymore. I've slept all I can sleep. Is that it? Did I get it right, Richards? Yeah, lost a tooth and no more sleep. All right, that's fine. So now I am going to, we're waiting here. We're going to go to commercial, take a brief break, back in about 5 to 8 minutes, I think. So it'll be a bit of a longer break. I'm not timing this one. You don't have to time it either, but we'll just leave the music playing. You guys should be fine. I'll be fine in a few minutes. No sleep till hey. All right. I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay. Let's review. When last we were on stream, people in the chat were drinking cola and Fresca. And there's been some slight frustration about Fresca's lack of sugar, and also that there are all sorts of other citrus drinks that people enjoy as well. I love Fresca. I haven't had a Fresca in probably a decade, it feels like. I had to eschew anything with grapefruit juice when I started taking a statin. And when I stopped taking statins, because they were going to kill me, probably. I mean, they're going to kill everybody, but I had heard that the enzymes in grapefruit juice have to be processed by your liver, and that can be difficult on your liver. And I'm like, I should just be really nice to my liver. Really, really nice to my liver. I guess that also means I should see whether or not weed is an issue, if it's processed by your liver or not, because I've never actually looked into that. And it's not like I want to be like, I'm going to make taking weed a habit, but it is legal in Canada, and if I wanted to try some, I've only had it, I think, the 2 or 3 times in my life now. But it's like, if I wanted to have it as a thing, it'd be kind of nice to know that whether it's something I can actually do that or not. It's a grapefruit reacts to medications. Yes. But I have no idea if where I came down with the thing. But yeah, I seem to remember something about how grapefruit can poorly interact with medication, but can also poorly interact with something to do with your liver as well, I thought. I don't think that's bad for your liver. I don't think that's particularly hard on your liver. But I do think that is my understanding is it's not like a benign thing. So yeah. Anyway. But yeah, it was interesting to find out that grapefruit does react with medication. If nobody else has heard this thing about it not being a benign thing, and then maybe I am wrong, and that would be great to be wrong about that, because Christ, do I miss grapefruit. I don't believe weed interacts with your liver. I'm from Colorado. I'll ask around. Oh, say weed does. Okay, cool. I'm learning all this stuff. This is very interesting. So, moving along then, I guess. Oh, apparently grapefruit can help protect your liver from injury. Shit, then I should get back on drinking grapefruit juice. Why did I stop then if that was... Well, I stopped because of the thing that I thought for myself. All right, open your jobs directory. View all active jobs. Here's what we have for active jobs. Like the job of your liver is to filter toxins out of your blood, correct? It's one of many things that filters toxins out of things. So, breaking your filter seems like a bad idea if you want to live a long time. Oh, fantastic. THC gets converted differently when digested rather than inhaled. And I don't smoke or vape. I had chronic bronchitis when I was a kid, and for years. Took a lot of Ventolin. Even had a machine for a while that I would take like a spoonful of Ventolin syrup, and then I would put this machine on for a bit. It's really weird to do that. And so I don't trust my lungs. I also now don't trust several other parts of my body. So I get wary of what I might be doing to them. All the weed I've had so far has been an edible of some sort, which now are no longer they're no longer legal in Canada. Not until they decide to actually figure out how to market them properly, I guess. Anyway. Yeah, I imagine edibles are better for you. I would like to do that if I was going to be doing weed. Again, I have no idea if I'm going to be doing weed or not. So, the party, I think, is the thing we're going to do next. Well, no, there's also the Red Samurai ambush. Client needs to be extracted from Raku's death faked. Red Samurai ambush, I guess, is the... Maybe that's the better thing to do? I know I'm reading these awfully fast. Data retrieval is... I think these are currently in order of when I had them offered to me. Is it better to do some of these to get to Gaichu's thing, or is it better to do... Because my fear is I'm like, hey, Red Samurai, go up against a team of those. Bet I need to be strong. Might need a bit more karma to trick myself out, I would think. Repulse Bay. Independent Trevor, I don't know if it actually scales the mission to work with my level or not. Yeah, kick ass, get karma, kick bigger asses. Maybe I'll do the attending a party one first, because I'm sick of seeing Dr. Shenyang hanging around anyway. So let's go to Repulse Bay. Get that over with. Nope. Count John D. It is many times in Canada right now, actually, because we cover 7 time zones? 6? Pacific, Mountain, Central, kind of. Eastern, Atlantic, Newfoundland. All right. Drop that last save before we go on our way. Save. The Repulse Bay Hotel. Okay. Hotel. I'm going to a hotel. I have all my friends. I feel like Duncan's not a bad idea. I have no idea whether Gobbett should come along for this one or not. I feel like having a decker is always a good idea. I feel like we're here to kidnap somebody. I feel like having Duncan is a good idea. He has also, I think, been upgrading his firearm, I think. Ah, Gaichu's hand-forged katana is now a 6 instead of a 5. Take Duncan. What else am I going to do here? Hotel, building, vents, drones. Any reason to bring Gaichu? Any reason to bring Gaichu? Seems like he would make it harder. Or, because we're going to a bunch of Hollywood place, people be like, yeah, fun dialogue? It's like, yeah, that's kind of my reason. I'm like, you show up at a place with like a bunch, it's like, wow, look at all the makeup techniques and stuff. Yes, Gaichu is a good friend. Gaichu has the coup de grace, it's true. He's missed with that once already. I don't know. I feel like Duncan's probably fine for this run. Yeah, let's just do this. Oh yeah, Duncan does have that non-lethal takedown as well, so that helps. Let's go to the Repulse Bay Hotel. Yes, apparently everybody's equipment, my understanding is that it all upgrades as you level. You can also, if you want, like if I want to, I can buy a sword and then leave it in my stash and then just... I forgot to assign that spell to myself because I didn't look to see if I had it assigned to myself or not. Well, that's going to be interesting. Exit. Stage left. You arrive at the eponymously named Repulse Bay, a gleaming hotel and apartment building on the shores of Repulse Bay, Hong Kong Island. Rolling stone clouds choke the sky, lending the structure a sinister appearance. As you push through the doors and into the building, a sudden break in the clouds reveals a sun that's gone red as blood. You make your way into a ground floor elevator. The attendant pays you no mind. As the car begins to climb, you hear the sounds of merriment drawing closer. As the doors slide open, you find Neville Ma's party in full swing. Now I can give myself spells. And possibly... Let's have a look at the team here. 2 medkits, 2 medkits, 1 medkit, 2 medkits. Because you never know when you're going to get shot. Another medkit for me. And who likes drugs? I almost never... A modded errant flashbang grenade. Maybe Duncan takes another grenade. Give him all the grenades. This is probably fine. We can give Isabel one more of those. Sure, why not? And I have done my spells, so my mana charge is now part of my loadout. And I can say confirm. And we saved before we even chose what mission we were doing, and it'll save right now. The elevator disgorges you onto the mezzanine with little fanfare. Off in the distance, you can hear the sounds of drinking glasses, carefree laughter, and silverware on china. And you guys look like you're dressed for a party. I'm kind of out of my element here, Beej. I'm not much of a party person, Duncan says. How do you want to handle this? Check the apartment first? If you're not much of a party person, then why didn't you say you didn't want... Like, why... You said you wanted to come, Duncan. You said to me. I am definitely a party person. I mean, I guess I can kind of scope out what's happening in this case. Ractor, that's probably the wisest choice. He strokes his chin and Koshé flexes its articulated limbs in anticipation. Lead on, we will follow. So, this elevator leaves this area and goes somewhere else. This guy is a guest. This is a door that is open. And this is a matrix data line. First, I will talk to a guest. A sullen-looking troll stands on the periphery of the kitchen. He turns to you, shoulders slump forward, and sighs. Hotel guest says, "No restaurant service tonight. The kitchen staff's too busy with the party to serve anyone. Wish I could get onto that balcony." He sniffs the air wistfully. "All that delicious food." This looks fancy. Who's throwing the shindig? Why can't you get in? Guess only the guy throwing it seems connected to the trade industry. There's tons of actors in there. Some of them from Promises of Moonlight. He fiddles shyly. You know the show, right? Of course, can't wait for the new season. His eyes widen excitedly. Me too, that twist with Lady Shung in the last episode. What a cliffhanger. I couldn't believe it. Me neither. Good luck with the kitchen, buddy. Let's see what we can see. Have Isabel Jack in. This seems great. What happens now? Oh, that is a... I feel like it could have done better than that. Oh, God, they got a lot of... Oh, man, they do. Do I reload? She has the new killer program. Do I need to move? Do I leave? Yeah, knew it. Come at me, bro. Oh, right, that thing's probably... I guess it would attack me as well, wouldn't it? First up. Just knock that shit over, I guess. Search for information on Neville Ma. Ma Neville, resident penthouse apartment number 2. Expand query. Apartment door code. 1635. There we go. That helps. Other records. Select subject. Events. One event found. Yellow Springs Films private party mezzanine level. Front desk indicates 6 unclaimed notifications. Download invitation. Yes! Other records. Planned hotel expansion. You download a series of files detailing expansion plans to the hotel's ground floor. These might be valuable to local construction firms. Other records. Maintenance logs. Reams of data flood the screen. Everything's organized by way of reference numbers. It's an incredibly obtuse and confusing system. Without knowing what number to search for, there's little value to see here. So might have to come back and deal with that in a bit. Don't need to worry about that. Did that. Disconnect. Inspect. Today's special is Buddha's Delight. Alright, I'm going to throw down a save for a successful hacking run. You know, to celebrate. Let's talk to the waiter. This party does look really fancy. Who is throwing it? Ah, Penelope Wong is in here. Oh man, let's see her. She's so glamorous. The ragged waiter manages to straighten up as you approach. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the veranda at Repulse Bay. How may I be of service? So the guard by the balcony. There's a private party outside, and our establishment provides security for any event that requires it. But don't worry, the balcony will be free again in a few hours. I got some questions about Neville Ma. Heard of him? Certainly. Everyone knows Mr. Ma. Duncan, yeah? What kind of guy is he? Between you and me, he's difficult, which is putting it lightly. Man runs the staff ragged. He jerks his thumb in the direction of the veranda. That's his party out there. Richies like him love to display their wealth. Sounds like you have some stories. He lowers his voice like you wouldn't believe. He once made a handful of us walk all the way out to Shek-O to fetch dumplings for his guests. It was pouring it with winds blowing around 50 kilometers an hour. Practically a death march in that weather. Isabel, why didn't the kitchen here make him some dumplings? Waiter, Ma said the kitchen's dumplings weren't good enough. Called them peasant food in front of all the guests. Chef Kang was furious, of course, but since Ma's rich, hotel management told us to give him whatever he wanted. By the time we got back from Shek-O, the dumplings were cold, the party was over, and Ma had retired to his suite with a pair of starlets. We had to pay for those dumplings out of our own damn pockets. A couple days later, Kevin came down from pneumonia from the trip. Lost his job over it. That's just one of our experiences with him. Needless to say, no one here is a fan of the man, but we're paid to serve the tenants here, so that's what we do. He shrugs. It's a living. Why don't you take a break? Not yet. I can't afford to miss any tips. He sighs. I went to Macau last week and it wiped me out. Bad luck with the horses, you know? A pretty lucrative trade myself. Care to make a deal? The waiter stares at you, suspicious, but his desperation gets the better of him. I'm listening. I don't need to pay for this because I have his apartment code. Anything I can touch? I see nothing I can touch in here. Yet. Go talk to the guard. Security guard stands around the patio, a bored expression on his face. He looks up at you, looks you up and down as you approach. Private party, pal. Invitation only. Here you go. He takes the invitation, scrutinizes it. He then looks at you, reluctance plain in his face. Enjoy the party, sir. Well. I don't care if you're talking to this guy. You're talking to me now. Penelope Wong, the glamorous starlet, flashes you a standard celebrity smile, lovely but emotionless. Good evening, Penelope Wong, but please call me Penny. Testing party Penny, please extend my thanks to Mr. Ma and Mr. Argyle. He'll be delighted to hear it, or Neville takes any chance he can to show how well Yellow Spring Studio is doing. Do you know him well? Not well, but we move in the same circles. I'm shocked to see he's out of bed, much less hosting a party. She nods eagerly. We all are. I must admit, I nearly died of fright when I heard what happened, but to look at Neville now, you'd never guess he'd been hurt. It's miraculous, isn't it? So the idea here is... Got the pay data, that's fine. Went to Ma's party, find some incriminating evidence, gain access to Ma's apartment. I'll keep you secret if you will. Shame the rumor mill's caught wind, though. There are rumors, she blinks. I haven't heard any rumors. You wouldn't believe the things people are saying. Embezzlement, secret partners, and other such chicanery. I'm sure it's all nonsense. Her face redens. That's ridiculous. The studio's doing better than ever. We're even expanding. No money lost there. I wouldn't put any stock in Matrix rumors, especially the ones about new investment partners. Given his situation, maybe that's the one to go with. He's got someone supporting him like a new partner. That would make sense given his situation. Someone new? For a moment she's lost in thought, face twisted in conversation. No, I don't think so, but Neville did make some new friends when he was in Guangzhou. Duncan, go on. Penelope Wong. There was a woman, can't remember her name, who now visits Neville regularly. I hear she's quite the fashionista. They sound close. Penelope shrugs. They seem to get on well. I'm a little sad he's never introduced us, though. She's supposed to make an appearance tonight. I'm very much looking forward to meeting her. Penelope's gaze drifts over your shoulder for a moment. She smiles at someone behind you. Oh, please excuse me. That's Mr. Yao, and I promised him I'd say hello tonight. Enjoy the party. Thank you, Penny. It was a pleasure. Find out more about Ma's friend. Neville Ma is dressed in an immaculate suit, surveying his party from the edge of the balcony. As you approach, he inclines his head respectfully. Good evening, Mr. I'm sorry, I don't believe we've been formally introduced. He straightens his wristwatch. I'm Neville Ma, owner of Yellow Spring Studios. Quite an affair you've got here. I do my best, he gestures at the very beautiful people mingling on the dance floor. Appearances are important in Hong Kong. If you look weak, that's how you'll be treated. Make a show of prosperity, and it will follow. Heard favors are worth their weight in gold here. Is that true? Or I'm sure everyone is glad to see your accent and hasn't hindered you. Maybe that's a little more... Yeah, let's do that. He chuckles. I blame the news feeds for that. They made the accent seem much more serious than it was. My car is destroyed, true, but I emerged largely unscathed. Well, let's sense you. Focusing your senses, you concentrate on Ma's aura. Your third eye slides open, unveiling the hidden reality of the astral plane and where you can park. The walls of the veranda balcony go gray and cold, and Neville Ma explodes into scintillating light. Judging by the state of his aura, Ma appears to be in good health. His essence is slightly frayed, the sort of damage you'd associate with a standard data jack. However, he appears to be more or less intact. You do, however, detect a faint tinge of discoloration on the periphery of his aura. A chronic illness might darken an aura in this way, but you've never seen anything quite like this before. Yeah, it is the same track in the club. It's a banger. I think it slaps. It's a bop. Having seen what there is to see, your third eye slides shut again. Or maybe, I don't know. If Ma's aware you've sensed him, he doesn't show it. Heard about your accident. How does it happen? He sighs. It seems as though that's all anyone wants to hear about these days. To be honest, I'm getting rather tired of repeating the story. Suffice it to say, a delivery truck, a drone, experienced a glitch and ran a red light. If it hadn't hit me, it would have hit someone else. Do you think it was intentional? Or did the police discover anything unusual? Not really. Apparently the latest software update to the truck had gotten corrupted, but that was all they found. It was shocking to discover that the delivery company missed the glitch, but I suppose that's a mistake anyone could have made. Certainly not enough to point to any one person. I heard you made a new friend when you were in the hospital. Yes, Miss Feng. She's quite an admirer of promises and moonlight. She's kept my spirits up as I was recovering from the accident. What line of work is she in? She's independently wealthy. I believe she was an early investor in Eastern Tiger during their expansion several years ago. You were discharged from the hospital pretty quickly after your accident. Your treatments must have been expensive. Not especially. Guangzhou's hospitals are top tier. Confidentially, my rapid recovery mostly came down to luck. The accident could have been a lot worse than it was. I owe Eurocar a lot of thanks for their safety features. Thanks for talking with me. Please enjoy the party. Anything else? Nope. Producer. The partygoer raises an eyebrow at your approach. They're serving century-old Cabernet like punch here. It's hard to believe considering how much a single bottle costs. But it's even harder to believe that Mr. Ma is hosting this party, and so soon after his accident. Yeah, wine, whatever. Tell me more about Neville Ma. Heard about that. Doesn't seem to have slowed him down. Man's a machine, he smirks, amused by himself. Not literally. But he might as well be the way he sprang back after being T-boned at 140 clicks an hour. Ooh, nice use of clicks. Good job. That's quite a feat. How'd he survive? I don't know how, but here he is, alive and kicking, or dining, regaling, what have you. If you ask me, it's all that positive chi of the fans have stirred up. I heard there were entire message boards praying for him and making offerings at temples. The Matrix is nuts for promises and moonlight. If Ma had negotiated a second season, his fans would have just easily turned on him. That's all it takes to win immortality. Maybe I should become famous too. Isn't that why we're all here? To become famous? To be famous, become famous, or make someone else famous? Catch a sight of someone across the room, waves. Lisa, over here! Gives you a curt nod. Nice talking to you. Does Ma have anything else to say? Did I just not get there? I don't see anyone else I can talk to. All right. Talk to the waiter again. Oh, it's you again. What do you need this time? All right, sir. Enjoy your day. All right. Well, elevator. The elevator dings softly, and a bright, sophisticated elevator panel awaits your input. Penthouse floor. Bong. I'm just not going to bother giving you other things to choose from, apparently. I mean, I do like the use of the water features. I think that's really cool. This is a standard hotel door protected by a simple hydraulic locking mechanism. A keypad is mounted beside the door frame. I never get to use this kind of stuff that often, so let's just try it. Code's likely a combination of those numbers. 1635. Boop, 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 bing. The door unlocks. A scream is heard from within. Why is it so cold in here? He's a ghoul. Search suits. Rows and rows of finely tailored suits, custom shoes, and various accessories fill this room. Alright, I feel you. is it so warm in here? Marty! Liquor cabinet. Ah, yes, I should save. You're right. The liquor cabinet is full of expensive wines and spirits. Several decanters sit atop it, but one in particular catches your eyes, a bottle of brilliantly white, bright red wine. Steal a sip. Take a gulp and quickly gag. The wine is strangely warm given the temperature of the room and disgustingly salty. What's wrong with you, man? Do you usually dip into people's wine collections while legally searching their house? Just one more sip. Second swig is no better than the first, still salty and disgusting as before. Duncan pulls an alcohol swab from his belt pouch and wipes off the mouth of the decanter, mumbling angrily to himself. He shakes his head. I swear, Pete, sometimes. I mean, I love me some Moonlight Sonata, so... Refrigerator. Also, I don't have the keyboard with the numpad is on the other side over here, and I don't expect to be doing a lot of hacking right now, but there's enough food in here to feed a big party. This is great. The music, this is great. The opposite side of the living room is dominated by a massive security door. It's much heavier than the exterior apartment door and looks a recent addition. The wall has clearly been reinforced to support it. A series of top-of-the-line commercial-grade maglocks hold the doors sealed. It would be easier to tunnel through the wall than it would be to break them open. Examine the door. A cursory glance at the door frame reveals no sign of a keypad or jack point, but you do see what appears to be an RFID reader. A 16-digit number has been stenciled onto the side of the reader in red ink. Isabel, this didn't come with the apartment. Why fortify an interior door like this? Ractor, to keep up appearances, I think. Can you imagine what installing this monstrosity in the hallway would have done to the building's aesthetic? People would talk about it. A man like Ma wouldn't want that. Isabel. No. I'm going to turn this up a bit. I love that this isn't just a straight MIDI or whatever. It's like we got someone who can't play it without having issues. It's like someone who's learning it. It's such a nice, pretty song too. Isabel, well, one thing is certain, we aren't getting through there without a key. Most likely that means we'll either have to get one from Ma or from one of his people. Duncan, guess we're going to have to head back down to that party. I don't know, let's keep looking around up here. Let's keep looking around up, and I'll look in the liquor cabinet for the key. Look in his suit pockets. A man like that who needs access to that kind of room, would he just not, like, have it sewn into all of his suits so he never has to slow down while he's walking? Like he can just hold up the cuff of his sleeve and just come in? Alright. Take the elevator to the mezzanine, chump. Change, and it's on. Super bon bon, super bon bon, super bon bon. To fight fat, you got cut. You must cut clean. You gotta take the elevator to the mezzanine, chump. Change, and it's on. Super bon bon, super bon bon, super bon bon. Oh, good evening, sir. Ah, yes, it's you again. Hey, just offhand, there's a heavy security door in Neville Ma's apartment. Know anything about that? The waiter opens his mouth to reply and pauses. Just how did you know about that? When were you in Ma's apartment? Duncan, a few days ago. I left something in there. I need to get it back. I don't want to cause a scene. I mean, we could go bother Ma during his party, but that would just look as bad for you as it would be for us. Waiter, he lowers his voice. Tell you what, try talking to Chef Kang in the kitchen. He's got keys to just about every door in this place. On VIP request, he's expected to personally deliver their meal. It's a status thing, compliments of the chef or whatever. Poor guy spends as much time delivering food as he does cooking it. Worth a try, thanks. No problem. Just, don't mention I sent you, alright? Chef's a manageable man, so I don't want to get on his bad side. Yeah, never mind. Alright, sir, enjoy your day. Cook! Chef Kang, I guess. Yes, the chef looks up from his pot of boiling water, red-faced and sweating. A name tag is pinned to his lapel. Chef Victor Kang! Thought I told him to send in the waiter. Who the hell are you? Boss got this door in his room. Big thing, practically indestructible, and someone said that you can get me inside. Cook, yeah, I could do that, and I'll also lose my job for it. Even go to jail. Sounds like a real winner of a proposition to me. He strains a vat of boiled fish through a sieve. Got work to do, stranger. Doors that away. Your Ma insulted your dumplings in front of his guests. That's harsh. Expression hardens. Yeah, it cost me a raise and a whole lot of face. I'll bet that bastard didn't lose a wink of sleep over it either. Single motion, chef lops off a fish head. How about exchange? Your key fob for Ma's guaranteed discomfort. Yeah, gladly. Grabs a plastic tab from his apron pocket and tosses it to you. Ruin him, will ya? Or at the very least, ruin his day. Consider it a bonus if you wreck his anemic girlfriend and giddy starlet's days, too. Girlfriend? What girlfriend? What's her name? Ku Feng, that's it. She's the rich wench who paid for Ma's hospital stay. Skinny, anemic thing. Never eats. All she does is order cheap red wine. First I thought it was a fling, but now I'm not so sure. Maybe you can split them up. I'd thank you for it. I suppose she takes her wine warmed and salted. I've heard rumors. His eyes narrows. A warm, salty wine? What a disaster. No, she just orders wine. Plain old wine. Wouldn't stop her from slipping in her own seasonings, though. Ah, right. Yeah, thanks for your help, chef. No, thank you. I had to do remarkably little to get access to this key. Create new save. As you approach the door, the light set into your key fob goes from red to green. There's a loud series of thunks and the door slides open. A blast of frigid air floods into the room from the other side. Cyber terminal. An expensive consumer-grade computer terminal awaits your input. The display background is set to a screen capture from Promises in Moonlight. Penelope Wong's radiant face beams at you from the corner of the screen. Duncan, this must be Ma's personal terminal. He smiles. Can't think of a better place to dig for dirt than the man. Alright, log into the computer. A few keystrokes is all it takes to get into the computer's file structure. With the high-tech security door in his apartment, it seems Ma never bothered to encrypt his machine. An options menu appears on the screen. Search email. You read through Ma's email. Most of it's spam and boring business arrangements, but one detail stands out. Neville Ma is frequently emailing a woman named Ku Feng. They seem close, exchanging a lot of thinly veiled flirtation. It appears that Neville's been lavishing Kufeng with money and affection, expensive gifts, rent checks, miserable attempts at poetry, seeing to it that her every need is met. Alright, financial records are astoundingly boring aside from two major things. He spent next to nothing on his hospital bills, where it appears he only stayed for 3 days, and he's spending a lot of money on a woman named Kufeng, jewelry, bills, clothes, and such. Let's unlock that office door. The push of a button, you unlock the office door on the other side of the room. An ominous thunk reverberates throughout the cold steel apartment. Without warning, a frigid wind blows through the apartment. The chill cuts through your clothing, raising goose flesh all over your body. I have pretty thick robes on, too. Duncan, where is that coming from? There's another blast of cold, and a pale and imposing woman materializes out of thin air. A throng of blank-faced men and women materializes alongside her. Mysterious woman. Ah, the little dog who's been sniffing around Neville Ma's affairs. Her voice is imperious, arrogant. She looks like she has fangs. Kufeng, I presume. She nods. Just so. My servants have been watching you since you arrived. Suspect you are an evil man, and you are here to do harm to Neville, and so I came to stop you. Let's read the woman's aura. You focus your vision on the astral plane, expand your senses to take in the woman's aura. Black shadows color her essence, the kind of markings often found in the auras of terminal cancer patients. And vampires. And terminal cancer vampires. Hang on a second, are you a vampire? Very astute. She grins at you, displaying a set of sharp-looking teeth. What do you intend to do about me now that you've had this revelation? Oh my god! I really want to press number 2. Come on! Wait. I've heard stories about Chinese vampires before. Aren't you supposed to, like, you know... hop? God, do I want to do that. Let me put a save down. Fuck it. Her expression darkens. I am far too dignified to hop. Peasants hop. Animals hop. I stride. No more foolish questions. I am Kufeng, and I will tolerate no disrespect. She folds her arms across her chest. I suspect that you're an evil man. I think that you're here to do harm to Neville, and I'm here to stop you. I couldn't be less interested in hurting Neville, lady. I'm just here to finish a job. If that is true, then it is a shame. You've seen my face, and you know what I am. Naturally, I cannot allow you to leave. You cannot afford to fight me here for fear of police involvement. She lifts her chin imperiously. Perhaps we can settle this in a more civilized manner. Face off in a neutral location. Will you accept my challenge? You know what I want to do? Is I want to reload this. Because... yeah, we'll reload it. Because I want to say I don't know what I want to do yet. I want to see if there's more conversation options first. But goddamn, that was so worth it. It was so worth it. Peasants hop. Animals hop. I stride. I'm like, peasants hop? Have you seen a peasant in the last 300 years? All right. Oh, she has a story. I'm interested now. All right. First I go in here. There's a blast of frigid air because it's KitchenAid for the way it's made. All right, let's see here. Click this. Let's find out some things about email. Yeah. Search financial records. Unlock the office door. Clunk. Step into the room. Step into the room. Goose flesh. Where's that coming from? Thunk. Kufeng, I presume. Read her aura. I think I know your secret. I don't think I need to know more about you before I decide. Wise decision acting without knowledge is the mark of a fool. Know then that I'm Kufeng and that my servants have been watching you since you've arrived. I think you're still so clever, sniffing around Neville's affairs like an amateur detective. So sly, so quiet, but you're not quiet enough to escape my ears, little man. Couldn't be less interested in hurting Neville, lady. I'm just here to finish a job. If it's true, then it's a shame. You see my face. Accept my challenge. A duel at midnight works for me. Very well, she steeples her fingers. As returns, if I win, you willing to submit to my influence, become my pawn. If you win, cross that bridge when we come to it. Wait 15 minutes for the sun to go down, then come to the roof. We'll settle this there, like gentlemen and ladies. The crowd cheers. The sun dips below the horizon. Mist coalesces, coating the rooftop in dew. Kufang and her cohorts appear. Are you prepared to become my servant, elf? You must not resist, or I'll be forced to kill you. Should it come to that, I'll endeavor to make it swift and painless, but no promises. I'm ready if you are. This will be entertaining. Kill him! Ah, they got their fishing rods out. That's cool. Now, do I take center stage? Do I summon a spirit? Where the hell is she? That's a civilian. That's a civilian. That's a civilian. Civilian, Kufang, there she is. Alright. She suffers no AP damage. Missed. Yeah, move to the middle. Claim your advantage. Isabelle has a mini grenade launcher. I can also move her over here. I think I'll do that. Not bad. Duncan. Maybe from here. I mean, I can get in there, which is kind of surprising. Move over to here. All right, Duncan can take some good shots. He can Deadeye shot. What does Raptor do? Raptor can take cover. He can increase movement. And he can also send Koshei into control mode. And then Koshei can get to work. Let's see here. What are we going to do? 11. 16. Take the crit. I might do that again. Damn it. Do I just like headshot? Damn it. Yeah, figured that would hurt. Alright, so I am definitely hurt. I've taken 13 damage. Thanks to the bear totem. And now, all hell breaks loose. It's not bad. I still got this boy here. You can give me 2 more AP, I think. That's pretty good. At least 1 more AP. Alright. Maybe I Zot. That's a good Zot. Alright. Got that gun. Just full auto. I thought I was gonna do better than that, holy shit. Oh, his grenades now only work in the one, so... Let's, we pull Ractor out and get him to heal if we can. Can I heal from here? I can. I'm all about this. Kufeng's calm and haughty demeanor dissolves as her eyes grow wild. I had a feeling this is going to be one of those things where it's like, all the civilians are under her spell, so all you need to do is just, like, hurt her, and then don't have to worry about the rest of them, right? It's like, yes, okay, I killed one of them. That was bound to happen. I was doing a lot of, like, you know, surrounding damage. But it's like, take care of the vampire. Maybe something will change. Kufeng's calm and haughty demeanor dissolves as her eyes grow wild. Wait, a surrender, don't kill me. What's wrong? Not feeling so powerful now? She clasps her hands, pleading. The whole Mistress of the Night thing is just an act. I'm just an accountant that got infected. I don't really know how to fight. I was faking it. I just want to scare you into backing down. Die, monster! You don't belong in this world! Yeah, let's see here. An accountant? She nods. I was on a business trip to Shanwei last year. I went to a rave, got drunk, and passed out. When I woke up, I was in an alley and someone had done this to me. And so you what? Decided to embrace the whole vampire thing? Yes, we're narrative, not this horse shit. I gotta hear all sorts of story. What choice did I have? I couldn't go back to work and it was a dead-end job anyway. No upward mobility, no room for growth. I did what anyone would have done. I tried to make the best of it, to capitalize on my new abilities. I'm a vampire now, I can't control that. But I can control how I choose to monetize it. So what was your endgame? How'd you see this working out? Beats me. It's not like I have a rulebook for this or anything. I'm just making it up as I go along. Oh, we should hire her. No, that's stupid. Anyway. Who knows? Maybe I could eventually become the Vampire Queen of Repulse Bay. Wait, so this whole thing has just been you, what, improvising? Pretty much, yeah. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just doing my best. She looks away in shame. Her voice goes flat. Look, if I'm ever found out, I'll be killed for bounty money. It was either this or get gunned down by a vampire hunter. How'd you manage to survive? I've been hiding out in Kowloon. I was just hoping to just disappear. As far as my friends and family know, I'm missing. Maybe dead. Her chest hitches. She looks miserable. I think that's for the best. I mean, how could I explain what I've become? Can you imagine how ashamed my father would be to find that I've become this monster? No, it's better they think I'm dead. So, can we call a truce or something? I scratch your back, you let me live? What do you say? I think we can work something out, conditionally. She nods eagerly. Yes, anything. Just tell me what you need. First off, I want some answers. I tell you whatever you want to know. You ask the questions, I'll answer. No lying, I promise. How are you and Neville Maw connected? I happen to be the same hospital that he was, trolling for a meal. I don't like to drink blood from unwilling people, so I go to hospitals at night looking for people who won't mind if I take a sip. people in comas, patient with terminal illnesses, that kind of thing. Makes me feel better about what I have to do. So I wandered into this room and I recognized Neville Ma. I'd seen him on the news, seen photos of the accident. He was in really bad shape, a lot of broken bones and internal injuries, but somehow he was still conscious. So he offered to help. Well, I knew that if I gave uninfected people my blood, they'd be able to heal like I did, just not as fast. I'd figured that out early and by mistake, but it can come in handy from time to time. So when I saw that Neville was conscious, I decided to make my grand appearance. I materialized in the room and told him I'd make him a trade. I'd fix him up, good as new, but he'd owe me some favors for it. I wasn't specific as to how many favors or what kind. He agreed. Actually, he leapt at the chance to become my pawn. I guess that when you're all broken up like that, you'll do just about anything to get better. The deal was done. And we got along. I think he's charming. I think he's charming. He thinks I'm funny, and he doesn't care that I'm a vampire. He told me that he gives me nice things because he likes me, not because he owes me his life. It's all very sweet. What's it like to be a vampire? About the same as being a person. The human meta-human vampiric virus is like any other disease, except instead of coughing, I can't go out during the day. It's not all bad, though. I can turn into mist, and I'm a lot stronger than I used to be. I still have to wash my hair and pay for parking. You know what I miss the most? Steamed buns. I can't eat or drink anything except blood, and I've loved street food before I got infected. Sometimes I'll walk by food carts just to smell the things they're frying up. But if I buy something, 10 minutes later it's all coming back up in a mess. Is there a cure? I wish, but no. The only cure is being tossed in a bonfire, having your head cut off, and almost every nation in the world will pay a bounty for a dead vampire. It's not like I had much of a choice, you know. Be a vampire or get killed for some quick cash. It's a pretty raw deal for me either way. I've decided what's going to happen. Okay, she exhales heavily. What's it gonna be? Oh, hell yeah. Now keep in mind, we had a, yeah, you're all posting number 3 because you knew why I was laughing. That's great. Keep in mind, we could not lay a save before this, like we laid a save, obviously, before the whole conversation gets us into a fight, and then we have a fight, and now we're here. And we've been able to save the entire time. So, clearly, what I should do is, you're going to get Neville to fire Penelope Wong. That's clearly the thing that I should do, because it'll probably be bad for the company and, like, whatever else, all that kind of stuff. There's way more opportunity if I just say you're going to live up to your potential, though. And I'm going to help you. Because it makes it seem like I have a plan up my sleeve, and I have no idea what that plan is, but I think I know what that plan is. So let's find out. Because 2 is no good. She blinks. You are? Isabel, we are? Oh no! Well, alright. I know how to adjust to a violent new life. I've been living that reality since I arrived in Hong Kong. I can help you. Ku Feng. Okay, but why would you want to? I don't understand. Because I decide that I like you, and I can think of worse friends to have at my side than a vampire. Brilliant smile breaks out across her face. Well, in that case, I accept, gratefully. What about Dr. Shenyang? What are we supposed to tell him? He wants Penelope Wong. What do you say, Ku Feng? Think you get Neville to let her go? Ah, there we go! In a heartbeat, Neville can't say no to me. He'll do it, no question. Good. Catch you later, vampire queen. She bows, smiling. It's settled then. May this be the beginning of a long and fruitful relationship. Gain a karma, defeat Ku Feng. Pretty much did everything, yeah. Went to the party, found some pay data. Turned to Dr. Shenyang. I got to summon a spirit, which was really cool. I don't know what's over here. I don't know if anything's over here. Doesn't look like anything's over here. This definitely feels like very interesting very interesting options overall. Like storytelling-wise, that there's just been a whole bunch of... If you're willing to kind of be a bit of a softie, you can have some very interesting conversations. Alright. Now we put down a save. I mean, no real point because we're supposed to just get back, but we know how this has happened before. It's like, oh, return to the whatever. And it's like, yeah, here we go. Whoa, really? The elevator panel awaits your selection. Take the elevator to the penthouse floor, take the elevator to the mezzanine floor, or walk away. Alright, well, let's go to the penthouse since I'm probably not supposed to go there. I didn't really get to explore this room, did I? No one's playing it. Well, now I got to see it a bit better. It's one of the newfangled shitty player pianos. Mezzanine. I should probably return that plastic key fob. I can't. Never mind. Cannot. What's the party? What's going on at the party? Talk to Wong again. Can I? Oh, I can't. I'm done. Yeah, we're out of here. The clink of glasses and the sound of Neville Mall's party fades into the distance as you leave the Repulse Bay. As the MTR carries you towards Haoi, the mountains of Hong Kong Island roll by as looming masses obscured by rain and storm clouds. Penelope Wong has been fired from Promises of Moonlight, and Ma will be at a serious disadvantage without her. The whims of Tridvirs shift as readily as the tide. Without the Starlet's presence, Promises of Moonlight will undoubtedly lose ratings. What more, you managed to turn a powerful foe into a potential ally. Only time will tell how Kufeng will repay you, however. That's, I mean, it's fair to say that, because I was like, you know, we'll have a conversation off screen. Oh, for karma, it's not bad. We'll have a conversation off screen where we'll, like, talk about some stuff, teach you how to be, like, a little more hard-ass. Right, I gotta go talk to, I gotta finish this completely by going to talk to the dude. And then, like, from there, it's like, she'll probably remember me if we have to, like, hit her up for some favors later on. And that might not particularly, like, endear her to me. Because you never know when someone will come asking, but it'll be like, you know, I mean, you do owe me, and face. Anyway, Dr. Shenyang. Shenyang is busy puffing away on a foul-smelling cigar, his comlink in one hand. His eyes flash with anticipatory glee as he sees you. Dr. Shenyang greets you in the name of all producers. How'd the shindig go? Hang on. Is Shenyang the guy with the accent? Was he the New Yorker The one that I gave the really, like, not great, like just kind of terrible accent to? He was. Dr. Shenyang grades you in the name of all producers. How'd the shindig go? I've got the information you want. Let me tell you about the night we had. Oh, how do we do this? I've got the information you want. Explain the night's events from start to finish. As he speaks, Shenyang's face grows ever more incredulous, until his mouth is left hanging halfway open. He slowly places the cigar in a nearby ashtray and shakes his head in disbelief. Vampires in the trade industry. A vampire queen, no less. What a nightmare. At least you got me Wong, and poor Neville's show is dead. That's something. All right, kid, I'll send payment to your Matrix job. You earned it. Glad to be able to help. Dr. Shenyang's about to speak, but his comlink begins to buzz, irritated. He answers it and switches to speaker mode. Yeah, who is it? What do you want? That's Neville Ma. Hello, Shenyang. I just want to let you know that I've released Penelope Wong from her contract. If you're still interested in her, she's all yours. And also, I hope your business is doing all right. I'd heard you had some problems with cash flow. If you need a loan, I'll be happy to help. Dr. Shenyang eyes the image of Neville Ma with deep suspicion. You don't sound too mad, Nev. What's the catch here anyway? You must have had the next big thing lined up already. Oh, Doctor, there's no need for it. Do you want to know why I keep winning your little contests and you're always playing catch-up? It's because you think people like Miss Wong actually matter. They don't. Stars are crafted, molded out of talent, yes, but ultimately constructed. With enough time and effort, anyone can be made into a star. Just a question of manipulating public perception. Maybe so, but I got it now, and your show's dead in the water without the star. What do you think of that, eh? I think that I'm going to do what any good soap opera producer would do. Write her character out with a tragic death and bring on someone new. You labor under the misapprehension that viewers have loyalty. They don't. They have only appetite. As long as you chase stars like Wong, you will lose. Don't be afraid to think bigger, Doctor. Reach for the drama, not the dramatists. With that, Neville Ma hangs up on Dr. Shenyang. For the next 30 seconds, Shenyang releases a stream of violently imaginative invectives at his phone. Evelyn Strangler Bao looks taken aback at the ferocity of Shenyang's anger and the inventiveness of the sexual positions that he describes. Finally, he takes a deep breath and composes himself. That dirty little weasel, insulting my creativity like that. The nerve. Go on, kid, we're done here. Thanks for all your help, but I gotta get going. I gotta talk to a guy about buying a bunch of snakes. Talk to kindly just because I can. Yes, Auntie. All right. I'm going to drop a save. I think we're going to call it, and we're going to come back here tomorrow night and deal with it. We'll start with all the rest of the chatter, and getting paid, and doing all the other things that you do after you get paid. I think that's okay. I think we have done a sufficient amount of whatever. So, let's take this back to the main menu. And that'll do it for Play It Forward tonight here on the Loading Ready Run Entertainment Network on Twitch.tv. Thank you for joining me, Beej, tonight. I had a blast. That was a fun little mission. I'm glad we could cram that sucker in there. Pretty short overall. Didn't have to do a lot of fighting or anything like that. Just some poking around. If you liked what you saw, you can be a part of making it happen. Patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. That is our Patreon. And we have so many people who are helping us make our ends meet here. There are a lot of people who work for Loading Ready Run, and it takes a lot of people like you to make sure that we can continue to do the stuff that we do here. You know, the lights and the heat, really more the AC this time of year, and paying for an internet connection, and I like to pay my rent on time, so all of that helps us do those things. We have really fun jobs here, and you're the ones who let us do that fun stuff, and I hope that you have fun watching the fun stuff that we create. But also, you are able to interact with us in other ways. For example, the store. Thank you. MTV CDM's really helped me out here, actually, with this. Store.loadingreadyrun.com is a place where you can go to buy merchandise that has our logo and some other funny stuff on it. We have all sorts of things, t-shirts and playmats, and it says we have sleeves in chat, but we don't have sleeves yet. My phone call isn't for like another week or so to start working that out. So I want to roll this all the way back to talk about, the Discord as well. Right, thank you, MTV CDM. Our official Discord server. You can talk with people who like Loading Ready Run as well, and that might be like a weird thing. You're like, wait, really? There's just like a fan community that gets together to do stuff? It's like, yeah, we used to have like a massive message board too. And through things that happen, a lot of people have just moved into being on the Discord server, and discord.gg/LRR is where you can meet all of them. Go sign up and get in there and, get yourself a handle and chat with people and have a good old time. It's very well moderated. In fact, everything we do is very well moderated. I want to thank our mods for that, including MTV CDM. But yeah, our mods are a big help in ensuring that the community we make here is as positive and as fun as we can possibly make it, and you guys help keep it clean, all of you as well. So it's thanks to you, and it's thanks to them, and it's thanks to us for being good of people as we know how to be. So how else you can help here is by giving bits, and a lot of you have been doing that, but you can also subscribe to the channel. We had so many subs tonight. There were like, I think we were up to like 340 almost by the time this stream started, thanks to Loading Ready Live earlier in the day. And you can find all the stuff that we did in the Twitch VODs, but also on youtube.com/loadingreadyrun. And all of the VODs from Twitch are saved onto youtube.com/loadingreadylive. So let's thank the people who subbed and gave bits tonight, starting with Taichani for 55 months. That was a weird line to walk in on. Oh, I know. E-Block with 99 bits saying loved it. Richards for 70 months. Big number. Saying storytime with Beach. Flat Luigi subscribing for 6 months. Saying missed Loading Ready Live but happy to resub for Beach Times. Thank you, Flat Luigi. Chronicler C with a 64-month resub. 64 months. It's almost a retro video game rap group. Indeed. It's also a good round binary number. Forlorn Hope 22 subscribing for 43 months. Rui Falero subscribing for 8 months. Is this how I get a message to appear? Because nothing usually happens when I resub, and I believe you've now found how to do that. Drya128 subscribed for 6 months, half a year with the Lure Crew. Woo! Thank you, Drya. Gormless Ben back for the 41st month. Party God back for 27 months. That's a cube. Razor Swift subscribed for 13 months. Welcome back. Striped Dog for 30 months saying hack the planet. Roy Eltham subscribing for 29 months, going Beej and giving a high five, and it was about 54 minutes ago, so I really left you hanging. Kinslayer6788 subscribing for 25 months. That's a square. Dirkatronic subscribing for 34 months. Maybe this is an Animal Farm thing. The peasants are bunnies? I guess? Maybe it's just because she doesn't have really good, banter yet. True Trans Soul Alicia subscribing for 38 months. Time for cybercrimes. Animated Disc subscribing for 25 months, another square. And MTV CDM, thank you very much, MTV CDM, with your 58-month sub, and just for doing the stuff you've been doing in chat and all the mods, saying, yay, 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 yay. I think that's the right amount of A's. Yay. Yay. All right, we're out of here. Have a good night. I will be back tomorrow night. Actually, let's just have a look at the up next real fast. I should have done that, I guess, before we did whatever else. But yeah, you can see tomorrow is Scream Hero on Rhythm Cafe, and I will be that's at 4, and then at 6 I'll be coming back in to play another round of this. I'm having a really great time doing this, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Please have a lovely, wonderful night. I know that I have so far. We'll see you tomorrow night. Offline.